Conversation with Nick Abbot.
Listen to him. He knows everything.
I'm feeling woozy.
Groovy.
No, woozy.
Yowza.
Very, very hot. Gosh, it's hot. It's too hot. Oh, no, I said it. Ah, no, don't say it. Damn, I didn't mean to say that. Now I've said it. It was a little bit too warm coming in on the tube. Other than that, perfect in every way. Wow, you know, if this keeps up, it's going to be... people are going to be flaking out on the tube on Monday morning. I mean, I came in an empty tube at about 8 o'clock this evening. And it was... I didn't even want to get on the train, it was so hot. But what's it going to be like at 8:30 on Monday morning? Oh, you poor people. I feel so sorry for you. Take the day off. Say I told you so. Front page of the Daily Express. Oh, they love a bit of it. Today will be the hottest for 7 years. Sizzling Britain is on course for the longest heatwave in history, forecasters said last night. These are the same forecasters who predicted that this summer would be a total washout and the next 10 summers too. Same people. Today is set to be the hottest day of the year so far, up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be a story, wouldn't it? 95 centigrade. People exploding on the sidewalk. Pavement. See, I'm talking American now. I am lightheaded. 95 Fahrenheit. The scorching temperatures are expected to carry on into next month. How do they know that? The whole of the country will bask in wall-to-wall sunshine and blue skies as the temperatures hit their highest in July for 7 years. Hotter than? Guess where? Guess where we're hotter than? The surface of the sun? No. Guess where we're hotter than, Amanda? Have a wild stab in the... Well, yes. Hawaii. Hawaii's in Mexico, isn't it?
Yeah.
Forecasters last night predicted that the thermometer will climb even higher. No! It's going to be 100 degrees. Woohoo! Even higher next week. Jonathan of Vantage Weather Services, which sounds like something that you'd have to wear a Superman's uniform to go and work at. Vantage Weather Services. Can you imagine the people that actually work there, though? Hello, Vantage Weather Services. How may I direct your call? They probably haven't even taken off their woolen vests yet. He said that the next few days could see all records broken. He said this is a record historic heat wave, and not just due to the extreme temperatures, but sustained nature. It showed no signs of cooling off. Next week, another high-pressure system will bring crippling heat. And we could be looking at the longest heat wave in history. What are you looking like that for?
In history?
Yes, in history.
Well, even when the dinosaurs were around, when it was
6,000 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
When it was tropical in London and everywhere.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
In history. That was prehistory, stupid.
Don't call me stupid,
I am
idiot.
calling you stupid. I think it shows a charming, persistent faith in the ability of meteorologists to predict the future, though. And I mean, the Daily Express, they must hold the front page for any given weather moment. The same people that said it was going to be like a washout summer and for a decade are now telling us it's going to be the biggest heat wave in history. Well, I'm looking forward to it. How about you? Hands up who said, gosh, it's hot today, or it's too hot. Hands up who said, it's too hot today. Don't do it. You'll miss it when it's gone. But I am feeling a bit woozy.
I feel lightheaded. That's what I feel.
You know, the union leaders are bellyaching about, well, they're not the only ones, bellyaching about the politicians awarding them. Well, they didn't award themselves, but let's just, cut through the chaff and get to the nub of it. They essentially awarded themselves a pay rise. Pretend they didn't, but they did. Well, how much do you think union leaders are paid? Would you be surprised to learn that it was considerably more? Union leaders have enjoyed pay rises of up to 60% and £90,000 golden goodbyes. while their members are struggling to cope with rising living costs and pay freezes, according to official accounts. Now, this is going to be the part of the beginning of a wave of negative stories about the union leaders, and it's I would imagine that it's being put out by the very politicians that are going to be have just awarded themselves an 11% pay rise, who have not earned less money because of the expenses shambles. As I predicted at the time, they'll actually end up with them earning more. And in order to deflect our attention away from this terrible set of circumstances, they are flailing wildly now and throwing ordure wherever they think it's going to stick. I would imagine that this story has come from not perhaps Number 10 itself, but from sources close to. Financial statements published by the Trade Union Certification Office show that almost 40 union leaders have received six-figure pay packages in the past year, including one union leader who received £230,000.
What?
230 grand. That's how to keep in touch with your membership. Richard Bacon, a Conservative member of the Public Accounts Committee, said, "Trade union leaders have always looked after themselves extremely well. I don't think it should be a surprise to anyone." Anybody surprised?
No.
Of course not. Paul Noon, the highest-paid union leader, received £231,585 shortly before stepping down as the General Secretary of Prospect. His pay package was inflated by 108 grand pension contribution. Prospect represents 34,000 specialist civil servants who are struggling to cope with a 3-year pay freeze. Jonathan Baum, the former chairman of the FDA, which represents senior civil servants, received a £156,000 pay package, including £39,377 of compensation for loss of office after leaving last year. Many union leaders also received significant pay rises. Dr. Peter Carter, the head of the Royal College of Nursing, has seen his pay package rise from £66,000 to 109 grand. Good grief, that's a percentage amount which I can't figure out in my head. Huge! Shall we just assume that it's huge? Anybody got a calculator and the ability to work that out? 66 grand to 109,000. That's like about a 50% pay rise, there or thereabouts. I'm actually stunned. 50% pay rise. Nurses' pay 1% up after 2 years of pay freezes. Paul Kenny, leader of the GMB union, saw his pay package rise from £121,000 to £127,000. Now, that doesn't seem like a very big pay rise, but did you, dear listener, get a 6 grand pay rise last year? I'll take that as a no. And that is because you have failed to become a fighter for the little people against the tyranny of the big people, which pays like one of the big people. And I think that's called irony. I'll look it up in the dictionary. 0845 6060 973. Does it matter how much union leaders earn compared to their brothers and sisters that they are representing? And does this strike you as... maybe this is just me being... looking for... oh, blimey, I've walked myself off one of these vocal cul-de-sacs before I've even started. A verbal cul-de-sac. Maybe it's me looking for a story where one does not exist. But it seems a coincidence, shall we put it like that this story about union leaders' pay would come out at the very same time as MPs' pay has hit the headlines. It seems like a magician's move, a card sharp's move. Wave their hand in front of your eyes while they're picking your pocket with their other hand. It's a distraction move. Union leaders have enjoyed pay rises of up to 60%. Well, maybe that's that figure right there. Maybe I didn't need to work it out in my head. Maybe 66 grand to £109,000 is 60%. It's there or thereabouts. Enormous. And the union finances are also hit the newspapers today. Well, it hit the Telegraph today. I didn't actually read this story in many of the other, or if any of the other papers. Well, if they didn't have it today, they'll have it tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. Bob Crow, the militant strike leader, vowed opponent of city excess, has overseen his union's successful investment of millions of pounds in mining companies, the tobacco industry and major banks. The RMT, the Union of Tube Drivers and Railway Workers, holds shares worth £15.35 million in some of the world's largest banks and multinationals. It received dividends of 756 grand on its investments last year, an increase from about £692,000 a year before. This is according to the latest union accounts signed by Mr. Crow. By investing in mining companies, the tobacco industry and major banks. It's a return of about 5%. Are you getting 5% return on your money? No? Well, there's gold in them thar mines and deaths and global financial ruin. How can anybody hold shares in tobacco? These shares include 10,000 valued at £237,000 in Anglo-American, the world's biggest platinum miner. Its South African subsidiary has been rocked by industrial action, which has seen fatal clashes with police and 12,000 miners fired for unlawfully striking over wages. Mr. Crow is due to attend the annual Durham Miners' Gala on Saturday. I wonder if that's today. I wonder how it went. The union also holds shares worth... I hope it was in an air-conditioned room. The union also holds shares worth 279 grand in Compass Group, the catering and cleaning giant. Its subsidiary has been hit by strike action over pay by cleaners in the Unite Union. Is anybody noticing a conflict of interest? Under Mr. Crow's decade-long leadership, really, has he been around that long? He doesn't look a day older. Under his decade-long leadership, members of the Railway Workers' Union has risen to 70,000. He won a series of bonuses for tube workers during the Olympics, and for no good reason whatsoever, as it turned out. Extra work? I don't think so. He just took the opportunity to hold the country to ransom. There's a bloke that you'd like inside your tent, bleeping out. Am I right? In the past fortnight alone, the union has announced a work-to-rule action on East Midlands trains, a strike on the Tyne and Wear Metro, and threatened to strike on the Boris Bike Network and the London Overground. Busy, busy, busy. Mr. Crow, who describes himself as a communist-stroke-socialist, has singled out what he called the absolute greed and corruption of investment managers and has regularly criticised the pay for FTSE 100 chief executives. Still, nice people to do business with, eh? The RMT holds shares in HSBC, Barclays, Lloyds and RBS, the former employer of Fred the Shred Goodwin. The union is invested in a range of city investment funds. It also has large holdings in BP and Shell, the oil companies, GlaxoSmithKline and AstraZeneca, the pharmaceutical giants, and in Vodafone, which has been dogged by allegations of tax avoidance. And the RMT holds 425 grand of shares in British American Tobacco. Boo! Exactly. These are the cigarette makers, and £230,000 shares in Diageo, the world's biggest spirits manufacturer, and 166 grand in Rolls-Royce, which builds engines used in military aircraft. Many groups don't invest in so-called sin stocks, which include alcohol and tobacco and arms, for ethical reasons. Other shareholdings include investments in Scottish and Southern, the energy firm, which was this year fined £10.5 million by Ofgem for prolonged and extensive mis-selling to customers. It also holds shares valued at 281 grand in Centrica, the owner of British Gas, which was accused of gouging families by recording double-digit profit increases in 2012 after hiking bills by 6%. Dividends to shareholders, on the other hand, increased by 6%. I'm going to look up the words socialist and communist in the dictionary because I think it might not be an accurate definition that I have in my head. I wonder if Bob Crow's picture appears alongside it. I'll find out. Don't you worry about that. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbot, LBC 97.3.
Me love you long time.
Yes, here's a call in Surbiton. Hello, Diana.
Hello, Nick. All right.
Gosh, it's hot.
Not so when it's really, really hot, you know.
Are you not hot, Diana?
Of course I am. Yeah. I wouldn't be human otherwise. They were saying about that this summer is going to be the best summer or something. Weren't they what you said in your summary earlier on?
In my summary of the summer?
Yeah.
In my summer summary? Yeah, they said it's going to be today was the hottest day ever,
Now, I don't,
since the
but
sun
I don't know
exploded
whether
in the
you-
sky,
I
not
don't know
remotely
whether
interested
you-
in a word I'm saying. Yes?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's a hot weather what does it.
Yeah, that's making you confused.
I don't know whether you was alive then, but
When?
the summer of 76.
Summer of 69.
Yeah, summer 69.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Summer of
Yeah, the
76,
whole-
yes, I remember it
yeah.
well. I'm still not listening. I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and even in Edinburgh it was hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Just doesn't care about anything I'm saying.
It was from it was from April to September, wasn't it?
Yes, I do recall it vividly. It was the last really great summer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
I bet
yeah.
you'd have looked fantastic in your cosy in 1976, Diana.
Yeah, I was.
Now,
I was like Marilyn Monroe.
I bet you were.
And also,
And another thing.
And also, I was going to say they haven't mentioned about drought yet, have they?
Well, they can't possibly. They just. They wouldn't have the nerve, surely.
They would.
We had the
Anything today.
wettest winter and spring, like since Noah was alive, and they can't.
I bet they will.
Well,
soon.
yeah, I wouldn't bet against it.
I'll place a bet with you.
Now, you remember 76. Do you remember 78? Is there anything that
what
occurs to you about
happened in 78?
Well, I'll tell you what happened in 1978, Diana. Thank you for asking. The thing that happened in 1978 is that the human race peaked.
Yeah?
Yes, it's an actual fact.
Oh, I must have contributed towards that because my last child was born in 79.
Right. Well, and, yeah, okay. Well, from that moment on, it's been all downhill.
Oh, gosh.
But thanks for the
That's not
contribution. Thanks for your effort.
very- Yeah.
Cheers, Diana.
Bye.
Ta-da. 0845 6060 973. What are the signs that the human race has peaked? Because scientists have discovered in 1978 that the world's quality of life peaked, after which it has gradually deteriorated ever since. 1978. The peak of the human race. Australian experts track the social and economic progress of the world, taking into account various economic, lifestyle-related and ecological factors to come to their conclusion. Until recently, the standard method of measuring progress in a society was by assessing its gross domestic product, which is a measure of all the money spent and earned in a given society, GDP. But as the new study explained, this has its limits, and can in fact give an inaccurate perspective on the happiness of the planet. Well, it ain't got nothing to do with it. The most major issue with GDP is that it interprets every expense as positive. So, for example, an oil spill would be interpreted as a boost to GDP because large sums of money would be spent to mount a clean-up operation. And they explain that the enjoyable act of picking vegetables for your own garden and cooking them for family and friends doesn't fall into a GDP. But buying a similar meal in a frozen food aisle involves spending money and, in turn, results in a GDP increase. See, one pleasurable, other not so much. So GDP, gross domestic product, which is what most people, most economists will point to as an indicator of the health of the nation, doesn't actually mean that you're happier. We might, on the surface, be spending more and earning more, but it doesn't mean to say that life's better. And this is what these people have looked at. And they concluded that 1978 was it. Since then, it's all downhill. They said that the more accurate measure of how a society is faring would need to take a variety of factors, including the economy, and the state of the environment, and society into account. And this they have called the GPI, the Genuine Progress Indicator. And it starts by using the same figures as the GDP, the Gross Domestic Product, in other words, money, and then uses 24 other factors, including crime rates and pollution levels and loss of wetland and car accident rates, and even the amount that people volunteer, and whether they enjoy housework or not. And then they give a country its rating. And they analysed data collected between 1950 and 2003 and followed 17 countries, which equated to half the world's population. And they came to their conclusion, which is that on average, where GDP, gross domestic product, steadily increased without interruption, GPI, Genuine Progress Indicator, peaked in 1978 and has tapered off ever since. And if you're old enough, then you can say that you were there. It's not necessarily your fault, but you saw it happen. Experts yet said the results show that social and environmental problems have cancelled out any monetary wealth that the world has accrued. Well, that's just great. All that work for nothing. 1978, the peak of the human race. 0845 6060 973. What are the signs that the human race is past its best? The study concluded that in order to enjoy a desirable and sustainable future, we need to rapidly shift our policy away from maximising production and consumption, which is GDP, and towards improving a genuine human well-being, GPI, Genuine Progress Indicator. And politicians have been banging on about this for ages. And when they started, I could barely believe what they were saying. They were concerned for our happiness. They wanted to measure our happiness with a ruler.
We're looking at 10 inches.
And they just haven't stopped talking about happiness ever since. Maybe this is a part of that. Maybe they got these figures early, 1978. The peak of human happiness. The study people said this is a shift that will require far more attention to be paid to the environment, full employment, social equity, better product quality and durability. To which I would say, good luck with that, because the environment is too profitable to protect. Employment is only going to get worse as there are more of us chasing fewer jobs. Social equity is getting worse as the rich get richer. We may get shinier new products, but they won't be built to last longer because inbuilt obsolescence is what makes the money roll in. You don't replace something that lasts forever. So we're doomed to live in a world that's not as good as 1978. That seems a little bit depressing. 0845 6060 973. What are the signs that the human race is past its best? You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on Twitter, it's @lbc973. I wonder if I'll get a single phone call apart from the one that I've had so far this evening. I think this entire audience is flat on its back with its face like bright, purpley pink, just moaning pitifully to itself, with all the windows and the doors open. So, I'm going to stare at a dead board all night long, I know I am. What else can I tell you? Well, there's a story about ducks and the RSPCA and parking tickets in London, and you know what's going to kill you next? Just as an aside, while you gather yourself, you know what I can barely believe that that they've actually written this down. It's in black and white. It must be true. You know what's going to kill you now? That's right. Fish oil. I am not making that up. How many times have you heard omega-3 supplements? You must have them, and you must eat mackerel and salmon and all that oily fish. Otherwise, you're going to die. Well, you know what will happen if you do? You'll die. Men who take omega-3 supplements for a health boost may be putting themselves at risk of prostate cancer, researchers claim. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Now I've heard it all. Omega-3 fatty acids, which are to be found in oily fish, are widely hailed for their anti-inflammatory properties, which are thought to protect against a raft of maladies, including heart attacks and strokes, arthritis and various cancers. Which is okay, as long as you don't die while you're taking them. But a study found that men with high levels of omega-3 in their blood were at 43% higher at a 43% higher risk of prostate cancer than those with low concentrations. With less common aggressive high-grade tumours were 71% more likely than those not taking supplements. Now you might think, well, people who take supplements, they're taking a gigantic amount of this oil. The difference in blood concentrations of the fatty acids between the two groups was equivalent to about 2 portions of salmon a week. The thing that they've been telling you must intake for your health is the thing that might be killing you. I am stunned. 41,000 men in the UK are diagnosed with prostate cancer. 11,000 die from the disease. Talking about death. Dr. Ian said omega-3 is found in oily fish, has been the focus of a large amount of research in recent years, the majority of which points to it having a wide range of health benefits. Therefore, we would not encourage any man to change their diet as a result of this study, but to speak to their doctor if they have any concerns about prostate cancer. Well, men thinking of having fish for dinner are bound to make an appointment with a doctor to have a chat about their bottoms. Men love to do that sort of thing. We like to share. That's it. I'm never eating anything again. It's a good job cigarettes and alcohol are good for you. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3. It's 10:30.
With Nick Abbott.
What number are you calling from?
0845 6060 973. Here's a keen caller in Farnborough. Hello, Lynn.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Lynn.
Hello. I just thought I'd phone, as you said you hadn't got many calls, on two subjects. One, the hot weather.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Gosh, it's hot.
Yeah, but it's lovely. I've been in Croydon today.
Ooh.
And, yeah. And
How was that?
I like Croydon.
Yeah. What do you like about it, specifically?
Oh, it's better than Farnborough.
Oh,
More
well,
lively.
of course. Yeah, bound to be Farnborough. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
all
Farnborough
I've
not
heard-
nice? Farnborough sounds like somewhere that would be nice.
No.
No?
If you like boring places.
Boring, right.
Yes. But all I've heard on transport and from everywhere else, except for people of different nationalities, is people moaning about the heat.
Oh, it's too hot, they'll say.
Yeah.
I'm so sticky, they'll say.
Yeah, which aggravates me. And the other thing about 78, my daughter was born then, which was a very happy time for me, but besides that, I think it was rubbish.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, it was
Now,
not a
is it-
happy time for me besides that.
Right,
but,
okay, the actual birth, like a new progeny coming into the world, that was good. But
Yes.
is the rest of the year, is the
well, the
taking
rest-
care of it that's the problem, right? And when I say it, I
no,
mean her.
it wasn't that. It was
No.
just the rest of life in
Right.
general.
Oh, I see,
but
life.
but yeah, I just thought I'd say I think 78 was not all it was cracked up to be.
It isn't the music that's putting you off that year, is it?
No, I like the music, but
Well, even Rod Stewart, Do You Think I'm Sexy?
oh no, not that one. No, not that.
I
but,
am sailing. Was that
No,
78?
I don't like that
Painful.
either. No, it was sort of Maggie May with Rod Stewart that I liked.
Yeah.
But, and The Killing of Georgie. But,
Right.
but no, that's all I wanted to say. I think people of, how shall I put it, British nationality, English, whatever, moan too much about the heat.
Well, we're not used to it.
No, well,
Plus, we like to moan. You know, we
Yeah.
moan about the cold, and we moan about the
Yeah.
heat, and we moan about the wind, and we moan if it's still, we moan about the rain, and moan about the drought.
I moan about the cold, but not about the heat.
Yeah. Well, how about
Yeah.
if it gets even hotter?
No, I don't mind.
Do you have air conditioning?
No?
Will you be able to sleep tonight in this heat?
Yeah, I'll be
The
able
hot,
to sleep.
hot heat, Lynn.
Yeah, I'll be able to sleep. Fine. I love it.
Even if it lasts till the end of September.
Yes. I can't wait. I've hated the winter, so this
Yeah.
is good for me.
Right, well, I'm with you, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't want to have to travel in the, like on the tube or on one of those new buses.
Oh, I've been on the bus today, and it's been hot, but I'm still not complaining.
Right.
No.
Okay, good for you. Thanks for flying the flag for positivity, Lynn.
Yes, I am.
Cheers, my dear.
Right. Bye.
Ta-da, 0845 6060 973. See, most people are going, well, I don't like this and I don't like that, and moan about whatever it is. You give people a lottery win and they'll complain about the tax that they have to pay on the interest. 0845 6060 973. The summer heatwave has reached a new high, with one of the warmest temperatures ever recorded since the planet became, since the existence of this planet. 32 degrees, 90 Fahrenheit. The heatwave expected to continue into next week, with temperatures expected to remain in the mid to high 20s. Excellent. As long as you don't have to, move, or leave the house, or do anything. The warm, dry weather has brought a high and very high grass pollen counts to much of the country, leaving many of Britain's 10 million hay sufferers seeking relief. Well, there's something for the scientists to get working on. Hay fever. Health authorities have also urged the public to take care in the potentially dangerous heatwave conditions.
Warning, warning.
You're all going to die. The Met Office has issued a level 2 health alert for many parts of England over the weekend. In Yorkshire and the Humber, a level 3 heat health alert has been issued. On beaches around the country, families took to the water to cool off as temperatures began to rise. And my warning is, don't go into the sea. It's a giant fish toilet. Public Health England has urged families to take care in the hot weather. Dr. Angie, head of Public Health England's heatwave plans. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, first of all, there's an organisation called Public Health England. Who are they? And second, they've got a heatwave plan. I mean, I've walked myself up another cul-de-sac. It's the heat. What are the, not opportunities, what are the possibilities? There it is, possibilities.
Correct.
What are the possibilities of us having a heat wave? Very, very slim. But they actually have a plan for it. Dr. Angie said everyone can enjoy the sun safely by keeping out of the heat at the hottest time of the day, avoiding sunburn and staying hydrated with plenty of cool drinks. Well... She sounds like that woman off the telly that does the weather. In the winter, she'll say something, oh, it's going to be very cold, so take your wee coatie. Oh, I can't stand her. I want to heave my set out the window when she comes on. Hello, she says. You can enjoy the heat of the day while avoiding sunburn. And drink something every once in a while. And that's the official advice from the government. Can you believe it? They've got a heatwave plan. Stay cool and stay in the shade. I wonder... See, dogs don't have this plan. And even with their tiny doggy brains, they managed to figure that out. Drink something and stay in the shade. They don't need a government with a heatwave plan. They're being treated like infants. 11 million motorists are expected to travel on the nation's road this weekend as sunseekers head to the coast and enjoy the good weather. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. You'll spend the entire time in the car. Just stay where you are. Go out in the garden. Stick your head out if you haven't got an outside space. Go to a park. The Lake District and the south coast of England are expected to be the most popular areas, and drivers have been warned to expect long delays and frayed tempers. Retailers report rocketing sales of barbecues and sun cream. One supermarket said that it would sell 9 million sausages this weekend. Sausages are made of dogs. Did you know that? Waitrose also said it expected to sell 3 times as much charcoal this year as compared to last, and twice as many ice lollies. I must have been about the only person that did frequent barbecuing last year. I'll be out there with an umbrella. I'll be out there sitting under a heated blanket with another blanket around my shoulders and holding an umbrella if it's raining. I'm always outside. Superdrug said last week that it's been the biggest period for sun care sales in as long as they could remember. And you should squirt it all over your face. Remember that, and that is the official position of LBC 97.3. Here's a call in Dumbarton. Hello, Andy.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Andy.
Oh, I can't imagine a bigger nightmare than being stuck in the M1 and heading to... I can't understand these people that want to... They get one good sunny day or 2 or 3, and the first thing you want to do is join the endless traffic to go to...
Crazy.
If that is the... That's the last thing you should do.
Precisely, yeah.
You know, if you want to go to the beach, go in autumn or something on a day when everyone's at work.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I'll be getting my bike. If it's a lovely day tomorrow, so I've got myself a new bike helmet cam, right?
A bike helmet cam?
Yeah, I've always wanted one, you know, and I've got one of these Chinese ones, and so I'll be sticking that on it, and I'll be zooming around and on the cycle path, smelling the air, with a pair of headphones on, listening to...
No. Oh, no.
Negative.
Do not wear headphones while you're on a bicycle.
Listen, Nick, it's on a cycle path. There's nobody there but other bikes. Okay? It's nowhere near the road. I never go anywhere near the road. I mean, in Dumbarton, there's a cycle path that goes all the way up to Glasgow. You know, so I can literally go to Glasgow without going near a road.
Yeah, if you get to very, very hot, you could go to Glasgow where it's still raining.
Is it still raining? Anyway, I called up about, why we reached a peak in 1978.
Yes.
Now, I could give you 100 reasons why we've plummeted, Nick. Number one, I would say, is mass materialism, consumerism. Right? There are so much available now that has taken mankind's mind off peace. Whereas back in the day, we were content with simpler things, you know. And
well, were we? In what sense, simpler?
Well, I mean, can you remember sitting with your family as a young man, talking and laughing and looking forward to something?
No.
Did you come from a broken home then, Nick? well, I came from a big family, right? And I remember getting the first video recorder and what a thrill it was.
Yes.
Now I am surrounded by gadgetry, Nick. More gadgets than I know what to do with. And I'm always wanting more, the latest model, the latest this, and I'm never happy. I've ended up with every toy I could ever dream of, and I'm still not happy.
Well, you're not happy with your toys because that's the unhappiness is built into them. Because the moment you walk out of the shop, it's obsolete.
Exactly. It is, especially in the world of electronics. So that alone, I always find myself looking at more stuff and thinking, oh, I should have got that, or I should have went for this. And I find I long for the days when I was happy with less. And those days are gone, and it's never going to happen. I remember distinctly getting my first cassette recorder when I was about 14, and it was a big bulky thing. And I remember counting the days till Christmas. I knew I had it coming, and it was I couldn't contain myself with excitement, you know. And those days are long gone. And
and now that you've hit on something quite interesting there. There used to be a thing called waiting.
Yes.
Now there is no waiting. Now we have machines that instantly cook your food, and you're sat there watching the microwave, screaming for it to hurry up because 30 seconds is too long. And there's kettles that instantly boil, and there's food that is instantly prepared when you pour boiling water into them. Right. And there's you don't have to wait until the shops open on Monday to buy your music because you can download it immediately now. And you don't have to wait until the next episode of whatever show it is that you're interested in to be broadcast on television because you can download it off the net and you don't even have to pay for it.
Exactly. And think of this as well, Nick. You've got 24-hour television, right? So you're bombarded with choice. A lot of it's rubbish, of course, but if you have a satellite box and all that trickery, everything that you could spend your whole life sitting watching TV. Also, the internet, I think, has destroyed families. I mean, you walk into any modern family nowadays, nobody talks. All the teenagers, the older ones talk, of course, but the teenagers are sitting staring at screens. I once walked by a big main office in Glasgow a while back there. I looked in, it's got all glass windows, so you could see in the workplace. And all I saw was rows and rows of people sitting, staring at screens. Now, I mean, it must have been a big insurance company or something. But I thought, how sad is that? Why aren't these people creating something with their hands?
Well, you know what occurs to me is looking at that scene would be much like looking at one of the factories of old, serried ranks of people all doing the same relatively menial task. And what's going to happen is that all of those people are going to be replaced by they used to be replaced by robots. Now they're going to be replaced by a microscopic little chip. Yeah. And those rooms will be empty. Yes, here, Andy, I'm past a break, but I'm going to have to leave it there. But thanks very much, mate. You've got a lot. You've given us a lot to chew over. And I think waiting for things is the most interesting point that he made. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. 0845 6060 973. What are the signs that the human race has peaked in 1978 and it's been all downhill since then? This is Nick Abbott. Well, there's not a break here. I hate when you do that. You're supposed to be helping me, not...
What did you say?
You keep telling me there's a break.
I put a question mark there, actually. Look,
why don't you look at the log, you silly, silly woman?
Well, why don't you look at the log, you silly, silly presenter, you?
I'm looking at a screen that's got, like, 5-inch high letters with exclamation marks after it. It says, break at 45.
They are question marks, Nick.
You're supposed to be helping. When are you going to help? Helpful. You see, what we're having here is raised voices. And it's because of the heat.
No, it's not. Something else entirely.
Is it because of your inefficiency?
It's because you're just really annoying me today.
0845 6060 973. See, I didn't have to get rid of that last bloke. You could have continued talking. Oh, well, never mind. Let's carry on. Waiting. Well, I wonder if that is part of it. There used to be a certain deliciousness in waiting for things. You used to be able to look forward to things. Now everything is delivered to you like like it's kind of like a ruminant grazing. We just get, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that. We used to wait for stuff. If you wanted a new album, then you had to wait for it. When Pink Floyd released Animals, you have to go to the record store first thing on Monday morning and then wait in the queue, and then you had to wait while you rode on the bus back home, and then you had to wait while you walked from the bus stop to your house. All of that waiting, and, the anticipation. And while you were on the bus at home, you used to pull the record out and look and see how big the grooves were, see how large the tracks were. Oh, the excitement of it. Now you just download this thing and you don't really... people don't really care about music anymore. I mean, if Lady Gaga and Justin What's-It and One Dimension are the greatest things in music, it's the evidence is staring you in the face. Nobody cares about it anymore. It has become disposable. That's because it's instantly accessible. Records did not used to be disposable. I bet there's every single person my age or over has got albums, actual vinyl in their cupboards that they never play. And they never play them because they haven't got the means to do it anymore, because the needle broke on their record, on their record player years ago. You can't get them anymore. And so but they're not going to throw them away, even though they're useless, and they'll probably never play them again. But you can't throw them away because they weren't disposable. Nowadays, you'll download a track, you'll listen to it, you might not even listen to it. And then you'll stick it somewhere up your computer, and it'll sit there in the recesses of its tiny mind and stay there forever. Nobody cares. Here's a call in Stratford. Hello, Susan.
Hello, Nick.
Susan.
I'm responding to your request for people to ring in, and I thought I'd mark the maths question for you, which I made out to be 66%.
66%?
66%, yes.
Now, this was in reference to the union leaders' pay going up. And it was a Dr. Peter Carter, the head of the Royal College of Nursing, seen his pay package rise from £66,000 to £109,000. 66%, you say?
So, rather than be controversial, I thought I'd be positive. So, there you are.
Oh, well, not necessarily positive, but just accurate. Mathematically accurate.
Well, we hope so.
Okay, good work. Thanks a lot, Susan.
Bye-bye.
0845 6060 973. Text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and if you're on Twitter, it's at lbc973. Here is, which one? Hounslow. Hello, John.
Oh, hi there, Nick.
Hey, John.
You were talking about fish oils.
Yeah.
I've got two things to say to you. The first one's about the fish oils.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a protective against prostate cancer.
No, it gives you prostate cancer.
Gives it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's supposed to protect you against heart attacks and strokes and arthritis and various other cancers. But it doesn't matter that your arthritis has gone and your heart is in perfect condition, because you'll be dead from the side effects of taking. Although, as a warning, the Health Information Officer at Cancer Research UK said the evidence as to whether omega-3 fats affect prostate cancer risk is mixed. And unfortunately, she says, this study doesn't resolve the debate. So it doesn't mean to say don't eat oily fish. It just means that, what they previously said ain't necessarily 100%.
Oh, I love seafood.
Yummy.
Yeah, I love it, shellfish, anything like that. And when I go into Tesco's, even though it's, I know it's been frozen, I always buy the cockles and mussels and things like that.
Ugh.
Oh, I love those.
But I don't think that counts as oily fish. They're just bottom feeders.
No. Well, I'm doing something that's supposed to be a protection against prostate cancer, and that's drinking plenty of cranberry juice.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, I got that from my friend in America. He's drinking it like anything, and he sent me a copy of an article from one of the newspapers out there, and he looked very impressive to me. So,
well, don't they all, though? I mean, the newspapers have some story about one thing is going to save your life, and then the very next day, the very same thing is going to kill you. I've stopped believing any of it. And what you have to do, John, is just listen to your body. If you eat something and your body goes, "Ooh, thanks very much," then have some more of that.
The other thing I was going to say, Nick, was
Well, I'm sure it was you who said that you didn't like tennis and sport. Was it you said you weren't a sporty person?
Well, I used to be like a fan of tennis in 1978 was about the year that I became disinterested in tennis because the characters went out of the game. But I watch football and I like sport. Who doesn't?
I just want to tell you something that I did that was naughty.
Oh no! Here we go. Naughty, naughty. Yes.
Well, to Poundland, I bought a key ring with a TV remote control on it.
How much did that cost?
£1, of course. So of course, you switch the TV on and put it on automatic search, and as soon as it's found your TV, it turns the TV off, and then away you go. And then I went into the pub where the horse racing was on. And once I got it turned off and I knew it was on, every time they were in the last furlong, you should have heard the language from the Irish people in there.
Well, if you can get it to switch off those fruit machines with their irritating flashing lights.
Oh,
and those,
yeah, which I do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I hate those,
Just try and make it work on those, John, and you'll have a sensation on your hands. All right, thanks a lot, mate. 0845 6060 973. Yeah, I suppose that's worth saying. I mean, this latest study said that fish oil is going to kill you. The experts from Cancer Research UK said, well, maybe not. Maybe not. We don't know. Men who take omega-3 supplements from for a health boost may be putting themselves at higher risk of prostate cancer. And it's not massive amounts that they're talking about, massive amounts of omega-3. It equates to about 2 portions of salmon a week. That is what researchers said. Well, I'll be dipped in, Tunbridge Wells. Cynthia.
Good evening, Nick. It's not good morning yet, is it?
Not yet, Cynthia. There'll be a fresh, cool breeze come the morning.
Right, well, your program's
count on
so
it.
interesting. I didn't quite know what to go for first.
Well, lay it on me, baby.
Well, okay, let's go for herbal. As it's a very, very warm weather with all the pollen floating around.
Yes.
Antihistamines, if you're going to work or if you're using any machinery, anything like that, make you a bit sleepy. And I found that herbal eye bright, it's called.
Yeah, is this an advert now?
No, it's not an advert. It's an actually known thing. My son, who used to be in tree surgery, right, he couldn't use any machinery. He suddenly became very allergic to all the pollen of the conifers.
It's weird that it seems to happen spontaneously in adults. You'd think that that's the sort of thing that you would have been subject to as a child, but to people who could grow up to an ancient age, Cynthia, and then get it.
Let's forget the ancient.
Well, I didn't put you in that category. I was about to, but I thought better of it.
But actually, he was actually quite young. He went to Merithwood, he did all his exams and all the rest of it, right, in arboriculture. And then he became very allergic to the pollen. And
Which is a problem for a tree doctor.
Very, very much so, because, when they are climbing, sort of 100 foot, etc., they can't take anything that is actually going to distract them.
Well, you don't want to be woozy up there. Groovy. Not groovy, woozy.
Absolutely, Dot. I suggested to him, as his mother, I've heard about eye bright, and he was very sceptical.
What is eye bright?
It's a herbal remedy.
Right, okay, so it is an advert.
It's not an advert.
Sounds like an advert to me, Cynthia.
Well, it's not.
Other remedies are available.
It's a pollution.
Right. Okay, well, listen, thanks a lot, Cynthia, and there's good advice. Excellent advice. You might want to note this down. Don't take anything that's going to make you woozy if your job involves wielding a chainsaw. If you learn nothing else from this show, you'll have learned nothing else from this show. And what a disappointment that would be. 0845 6060 973. What are the signs that the human race peaked in 1978 and has been on a downward slope ever since? Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
On FM, online and digital radio, this is the UK's Station of the...
Please hold the line. I'm trying to connect you.
Woozy, dizzy, thirsty. I get that all the time. No, nothing to do with the heat. That's just my permanent condition. Woozy, dizzy, thirsty. I could do with a couple of pints of drink right now, as a matter of fact. 0845 6060 973. Does it matter that union leaders are paid 230 grand a year? And people are bellyaching about MPs. How can they represent the common man and woman when they earn 70-odd grand a year, they say about MPs, with their outrageous demands for more money? How can they represent ordinary, hard-working people on 71-odd grand a year? That is what people are saying. Well, what about union leaders? They earn £230,000 a year. And yet there is their job specifically to represent the common man and woman. Union leaders have enjoyed pay rises of up to 60% and enjoyed 90 grand golden goodbyes, while members are struggling to cope with the rising living costs. How can, on the one hand, MPs not be able to represent the hard-working, ordinary man and woman in the street, and yet union leaders be able to do it on 7 and 7 is 14, and about 3.5 times the money? How? And what are the signs that the human race peaked in 1978? Scientists have discovered that that year was the year that the world's quality of life peaked, after which it has gradually deteriorated ever since. Which is surprising if you lived in 1978, because I can remember it fairly well, and it seemed comparatively grim compared to the life of cosseted luxury that we experience today. Here's a call in Charlton. Hello, John.
Hello, Nick.
John.
How are you?
Great, mate.
Right. First, I got to congratulate you on the lovely show you have.
Oh, thanks.
Right. And the 2 points I'd like to discuss. One is regarding the weather, the way people mourn about the weather.
Yeah. Gosh, it's
At
hard.
last, we're having some sunshine and some decent weather. And another thing is about omega, the health thing, too much oil and all that.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they keep telling you, don't smoke, don't drink, look after your health, diet-wise and all that.
Yeah.
And the next thing they come out with and say that you're living too long. So you tell me, what have we got to do?
Well, I don't think I've actually said that we're living too long, although some people in the NHS seem to be doing their best to correct that problem. But no, essentially, yes, the human race is living too long, and we're all going to be ancient soon. And there's going to be about 6 or 7 poor people in their 20s peddling furiously to try to make up enough money to keep people like you and me, John, in the manner to which we'd like to become accustomed.
Yeah. And, yes, but the thing is, why, I can't understand it, why every week practically doesn't go by without them coming out with all this, the health-wise, etc.
Well, first of all, they'll say that you must drink coffee because it's very, very good for your heart. And then they'll say, if you drink coffee, sorry about this, but your heart will actually explode through your chest like the alien monster.
Yeah.
And then they say that you
forget
must
the red
drink...
wine.
Yeah, exactly. You can drink red wine or you can't drink red wine. Or you must eat oranges because it's great for your health. And on the other hand, oranges will make your teeth fall out.
Yes. Yeah. Well, by the way, I like that new one you just put in about the 10 inches.
Really? Okay, I'll send you a picture. Cheers, John. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's at lbc973. Here's one in Greenwich. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Nick.
Kevin.
I remember 78 quite well. I was born in 56. I was sort of 22 then.
Yeah.
But I actually thought 1980 was the cut-off year, the year of the yuppie. Am I wrong there?
Well, do you have the wealth? Do you have good? Well, the wealth, yes, but they went to great pains to say that wealth isn't necessarily an indication of how good people's lives are.
But I remember that. I remember that in my life as the period where it went in two directions. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer.
Yeah.
Am I wrong then? Am I thinking?
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Because I remember it was like even these superstar footballers. They was on a sort of a nice wage, not astronomical.
Yeah.
But then it started going that way and this way.
Well, that's because Sky came in and then transformed the finances of
Oh, was that early?
of the major football clubs.
Yeah.
Well, that's when the money in football started to take off, when satellite television came in and thought that this is the way to drive sales of satellites to, corner the market in football.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it was. I remember that as being that. I was a young lad there working it. Life was. Earlier caller rang said 1970 she had a baby, and it was a drab time. It was horrible.
The 70s, yes. Well, that's how I remember it.
How old are you, Nick? I don't know how old you.
I was born in 1960, so in 1978 I was perfectly positioned to take a peek around me and look at the lay of the land. I was 18 in 1978, and I don't remember it being that great actually.
I remember the 70s, 80s as being pretty drab.
Yeah, drab and boring and kind of depressed, and nothing really worked, and everything seemed to be in black and white. Yeah.
It was. You think now? I mean, it's lovely to be alive now in Britain, isn't it?
Well, that's what I think. I think that London has never looked as good. I think that, but I also would say that at this moment is the right time to be alive. In 5 years' time, well, I'm not so sure. I mean, in Greenwich, you can see London change in front of your very eyes, can't you? Just look over the river, and all these new buildings that are being thrown up, and they're going all the way down the river as well. And London is, at this moment, being changed irrevocably. I would say not necessarily for the better.
I went on a boat last week up to London from Greenwich, and they give you a history of it, and they think, oh my God, that has changed, isn't it? Through the Millwall docks, and Canary Wharf, and you think, oh my God, and 1978 was drab.
Now, it might just be that I'm thinking that I have become one of these people that doesn't like change, but, some of the buildings that are going up, you think, well, like that massive round thing that's going up on St James Wharf, that thing just over by...
Is that a cheese car?
No, that's in the City of London. That might be all right. I don't really mind that, and I don't mind the spiral going up. And the Shard's okay, I suppose. It's not finished properly at the top, but I suppose we'll just suffer it. And the Gherkin's all right, but the walkie-talkie looks pretty good. But that cluster of buildings, I think, is going to look good. But they're throwing buildings up all the way down from where you are, Kevin, in Greenwich, all the way down through the city, through the West End, and down towards Putney. These gigantic, hideous apartment complexes is exactly right. And we're going to be living with that and criticising it in the exact same way that they criticised the brutalist 60s council tower blocks that went up.
Well, I used to live in Canning Town and Woolwich when I was young. From outside the water, so my God, that is lovely over there now.
Is it?
God, yeah, Canning Town, not Canning Town, but Woolwich onwards.
Well, I'll have to investigate it, Kevin.
Oh, Canning
Woolwich
Town.
onwards. All right. Well,
it's nice talking, but I don't remember 78 as being the peak.
No, I don't remember it either. Maybe these people weren't alive in 1978. That's why they think it was great.
I think it was 81 when the Yuppies come out. Then it was downhill.
Right. Okay. So there's a man who disagrees. 1978, not that great. Now, they're saying this because they have put together a method of determining people's, or the progress of the human race. And like I said in great detail before, most indicators use the gross domestic product. In other words, how rich we are. And that is not necessarily a measure of... Now, they don't actually use the word happiness, but they use the word progress. Doesn't indicate how we've progressed as a human race. I think the word happiness sort of fits in here. This is essentially what they're talking about. Our lifestyle, what it was like to be alive. And they're saying that 1978, with all the facts and figures that they've stuck up their computer, this is what it spat out. This year, 78, was the year that the world's quality of life peaked and has gradually deteriorated ever since. What are the signs that we have peaked as a human race? Enfield. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Nick.
Elizabeth.
Hello. You don't sound quite so woozy now.
Woozy. Little bit woozy.
Yowza. Well, I love 1978. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I'm not sure about this peaking, though. I mean, what happened in 1979? I don't remember it being that different in 79 from 78.
Well, now, let's think musically, because it's easier for me to have to, like, grasp onto something, because if you just think 1978, what happened? But if you think musically, then you can start to fit it together like a jigsaw puzzle. What was I doing? What was I listening to?
Absolutely, because you only have to hear a record and you think, that's when I was doing whatever it was in 1978.
Yeah, what you were doing, whoever it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I was in my second year at university then, and I can remember we had a very hot summer that year as well.
In 78?
Yeah, we
Is
did.
That right?
It wasn't quite as long and protracted as the drought of 1976, because then I remember we had, I think it was 5 months of solid sunshine, unbroken clear blue skies. I was doing my A-levels that year in a swelteringly hot gym, and we all wanted to have a drink, when we were doing our exams, and the teachers finally relented. Well, I think they had to, because we'd have all passed out with the heat. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, they used to say, drought, no water, etc. Do you remember standpipes in the street?
Yes, I do. That wasn't 78, was it?
No, that was 76
yes.
I'm talking about now. Now, we didn't have any down my road, but we did have pictures in the paper of all these people. I mean, people now don't remember if they weren't old enough. But, people queued up with buckets and containers, getting all the water.
It was like being at Glastonbury.
Yeah, I suppose it would have been. But I can also remember in 1976, I was on holiday that year in North Wales with my parents, and we went touring around Snowdonia, and my mother wanted to see the famous Swallow Falls, and we got there, and it was like one drip of water because there was no waterfall, there was no river, nothing. It was just drought.
Were you based in Rhyl?
In Rhyl, no, we went to Llandudno.
Oh, Llandudno, right.
Yes.
Did you venture into Prestatyn?
Yes, we did.
You did?
I did. We went absolutely everywhere.
Right.
And I can remember the reservoirs were just caked mud with a little puddle in the middle. You could even see some of the reservoirs in North Wales where the buildings had been, where they had actually, evacuated the villages to build the reservoir because there was no water.
Huh. So why did you avoid Rhyl, by the way? Is it because of the awful people who live there?
Oh, Rhyl. Now, that's on the coast, isn't it? Is that going towards Liverpool?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's the Liverpool side of Prestatyn.
Yeah, I think when we were there, we were doing Snowdonia and the Anglesey side. We went west rather than east.
Right.
It's a long time ago.
I went to Snowdonia once.
Did you?
Yes, it was in the middle of winter. I went on holiday by mistake, like with Noel and I. With a group of about 20 of us from university. We went and hired a cottage out in the wilds of Wales, and it was a big mistake. Huge.
Why?
Well, it was like I said, it was the middle of winter, and this cottage had rising damp like a swimming pool. None of us wanted to go to bed because the beds were wet. They weren't just damp; they were actually wet. It was horrible.
So you have no happy memories of this in a kind of nostalgic way?
No, none at all.
None at all. It was just uncomfortable.
As a trip, we went out to see Snowdonia.
Yeah.
That gigantic tour. And we drove and we drove and we drove, and it was getting foggier and foggier and foggier, and mistier and mistier, and we continued to drive, and then we came upon a sign that said, "Here it is! There, look at its magnificence! There's the mountain right in front of you!" And we couldn't see it at all. It was as though it didn't exist. From where we were standing, you couldn't even see the foothills.
It wasn't foggy or anything,
There was no indication of it being there at all, other than there was a sign pointing to it and saying there it was.
Well, there you go. Now,
yes, we went.
I can remember staying in a cottage as well, but this was on the Gower coast. Again, this is back to 1978. I know I'm jumping from one year to the next. I'm trying to get them all into the call. But 1978, we did a beach barbecue, my friends and I. And again, it was a really hot day. In fact, I can't remember a summer in the 70s that wasn't hot and sunny, looking back.
Yes. Now, I wonder if there's an expert who would like to back that up, because that is the idea that you get of your youth, that summers...
Is it that we were young and we always think it was sunny? I mean...
Were you young, though, Elizabeth?
Well, I was younger in the 60s.
Yeah. You were young-ish.
I was youngish.
Yeah.
But I can remember as well, going back to 76, that the Daily Mail had a satellite photograph showing the whole of the UK absolutely devoid of cloud. And they just said, look at this, baking Britain. I think I may still have it somewhere because I kept it.
I bet it says Corfu, what a scorcher. Something like that. Here, Elizabeth, I'm going to have to go. Cheers, my dear. 0845 6060 973. Hey, I managed to get a word in there edgeways. I was trying to get... I love her. She's great, but I tried to get out of that call for about 5 minutes straight.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I'm way past a break. And again, you're screaming at me.
I am. Well, somebody has to keep you in line, and that somebody, unfortunately, is me.
You. Yeah. 0845 6. You see the pressure, the intense stress that I'm under? No wonder I feel woozy. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
This is LBC 97.3. LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Yeah! Dude! I can remember I was in 1978, the summer of 78. I feel like I want to break into a Bryan Adams song every time I say it. The summer of 78. Ooh, yeah! I was in New York in the summer of 78, which was a fantastic time to be in New York. And I went around all the... Like, at the moment I got there, I felt, whoa, this is a dangerous place. I could get killed at any moment, I thought. And that was in the airport. I did actually feel like there was violence in the air, even in the airport. The electricity crackled in the street. And that was the year of... where the music went pop. Not popular, as in it exploded. Hip-hop. And, the message with Grandmaster Flash. And every 10 minutes on a radio station in New York at that point, that track would come in. And it felt like I was plugged into where it was at, baby. I was probably the most... It was me listening to hip-hop music. I was probably the wisest person on the planet. I like a blue Daz whiteness. But I felt I was in the place to be. 1978. That was a great summer to be in New York, as if you were just visiting, I would imagine. Norwood, hello, Ray.
Hi, Nick. The question I wanted to ask you is, did you write an ad on TV that's about a cat that wants to become a dog?
Did I write a TV ad about a cat that wants to become a dog?
It's the funniest one on TV right now. No, you didn't.
No, I did not.
Well, they've copied you because they've got this cat going, when he says, you know what he's going to do for the night. And I think he just, and I thought, hey, that's Nick Abbott's line.
Saying,
Yeah, you do that, you say something you don't like or something you don't,
Like that?
And the cat does it. It's really funny. You'll see it sometime. But the thing I was talking about, omega-3.
Yes.
I think that the reason why people would get cancer from omega-3 is because of the fact that some of these things are kept for years in laboratories before they put them in tablets, and the tablets are held in laboratories for a long time. And rotten fish would kill you. So, I mean, omega-3 comes from fish, and if you were to keep fish for a long time, I think it could really give you cancer. But if you eat it fresh, if you eat fresh fish, I don't think omega-3 would be harming you.
Yeah, but you're just making it up, though, Ray. You don't think...
Old fish would kill you, isn't it? Rotten fish, and if you keep fish
yeah, but the
for a
people
long
that produce
time,
omega-3 supplements, they're not got tons of dead fish just lying about the place.
What is well, it comes from a fish, doesn't it? Omega-3. It's part of what comes out of a fish, and they put it in the oil or something. I don't know. But I think that's what probably would kill you if you keep eating this kind of fish that's been...
Well, I'm sure it's not the supplement parts that are doing it. They're saying that it's equivalent to eating about two bits of salmon a week. Well, you know what? It doesn't seem feasible. See, this is why I don't read any of this stuff anymore, and I don't really pay much attention to it, because one day it will save your life, and the next day it will kill you. And newspapers love this sort of stuff, because it keeps their readership permanently on the edge of fear and panic.
Well, they had a program on TV the other night about apples and things that we buy fresh in the supermarkets, and they keep them in warehouses for a whole year.
What?
They keep them under temperature-controlled things and huge, big warehouses with fruit.
Well, I keep mine in temperature-controlled in a fridge, and they don't last a week.
They but these things are kept, and they use certain chemicals and things to keep it, and then you see them on the market fresh, but they've been there for about a year in these storehouses. So I'd imagine with the omega-3, when they keep them in tablets and things like that, they've been there for a long time. And if you go and eat those things with fish, I mean, I was, as a child growing up, I used to be told rotten fish is not the thing, it's a poison.
Yeah, well, you're not eating rotten fish, you're eating something that has gone through a laboratory. It's got chemicals in it, Ray.
Well, it's still been there for a long time, and I guess it could kill you. It could give you cancer, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's not that's not what they're saying. What they're saying is that omega-3 itself, however you take it...
No, not fresh, surely not.
Well, see, you don't know. I mean, you're saying this like you know what you're talking about. Do you know what you're talking about?
Well, I was always told fresh fish is good.
It sounds like a no.
Rotten fish is
I'm hearing a no. Are you hearing a no, Amanda?
I'm hearing not very much because he's not listening to you.
No, he's not listening to me at all. Nobody ever listens to me on this show. They just go on and on and on. And nobody pays the slightest bit of attention to anything I say. Hey, thanks a lot, Ray. 0845 6060 973. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. Apart from it killing you, that's all. Don't be concerned. It's only going to kill you. 0845 6060 973. You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk. Hey, talking about fish, by the way, you know that there's been story after story after story of people getting dive bombed by seagulls? I did a column about it. It's on the World Wide Web at lbc.co.uk. Go to the blogs section, and all my bits are written down there. Hey, I'm self-promoting, Amanda. Do you believe it? I finally remembered, yeah. I'll ask people to go and join me on Twitter before you know it.
I doubt that, because then you'll get people tweeting you and just irritate you.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, I would have to read them to be irritated by them.
Would you even read them?
Well...
Did you know you're not even following me on Twitter?
Well, why would I?
Well, that's a bit mean, isn't it? I follow you.
And see, that's what I hate about Twitter and Facebook and all that. Oh, I follow you. Why don't you follow me?
Well, I mean,
I'm not remotely interested in what you have to say.
I do work with you.
Yeah, isn't that enough?
It's more than enough.
Exactly. It's more than enough is the right answer.
Yeah.
No. I don't care what you have to say about this, that, or any other subject. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I'm not remotely interested in your thought. Anyway, I was going to talk about seagulls. There's worrying developments. Warning! About seagulls. You know, they're taking us on now. Well, it's got worse. They're taking on an animal that's slightly bigger than us, and they appear to be winning. I think if you fast forward about 50 years, there or thereabouts, this entire planet is going to be run by seagulls, and we're going to be their slaves. So I'll come to that alarming news in a while, if I remember. You will remind me, won't you? You will remind me, won't you, Amanda? I'll follow you on Twitter, and you can remind me there. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, don't even bother, because I'm not interested. And that is the official position of LBC 97.3. The news with Zora Sullivan.
84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Are you trying to be funny? Because I'm all out of laughs.
Yes, me too. 0845 6060 973. Here is a potentially controversial call in Romford. Hello, David.
Hello there.
David, hello there.
Yeah, I'd like to make 2 points, really. The first one is, why do we tolerate car bores? Yeah, denying that there are any constant weather records being broken.
Car bores?
Yeah, people that go on about cars. Second point.
What's that got to do with the weather?
Why do we allow them to deny that weather records keep changing, and they say that fossil fuels don't have any effect?
Oh, you mean climate change deniers?
Yeah, car bores.
Right, well, cardboard to me is somebody who goes, oh, well, I just bought an Alfa Romeo and, we'll take it for a little run in the countryside on Sunday. That's a cardboard.
Yeah, and then after they've done that bit, then they start probing you as to whether you're pro-car or anti-car.
Never be probed by a cardboard, David.
And the second point I'd like to make is that all MPs should be paid £100,000 a year.
See, this is the controversial part.
Plus their office costs, and they should be paid a proper wage as lawmakers. And what should be publicised is the pay of directors and bankers.
Well, it is, though. It is publicised. You just have to look it up in the books. They're paid millions, the directors of FTSE 100 companies, as are bankers.
Right, okay, I'll do a quick test then. Who is the chairman of Boots?
I don't know.
Or IBM?
I don't know.
No,
Ask me another one now.
I ask people this all the time. They can never come up with a name, let alone an amount of money. So
well, it would be millions. Whoever's running Boots will be earning millions and millions and millions, probably.
That just shows you how little coverage or little knowledge people have of how much people get in the private sector.
But it's not. We have great knowledge of it. There's acres of pages printed with information in that regard.
No, I'm afraid I don't. I think.
But what difference does it make? How does that inform the debate about how much an MP earns?
Well, because people need to get their comparisons correctly.
Yeah, but we're not paying for the man who runs Boots.
Of course we are.
And there's only one. No, we're not. And there's one man. No, we're not. And there's one man who runs Boots, not 650 of them.
We're paying for every company on this earth. Who do you think goes into their shops and pays?
Well, you don't have to, though. That's the essence of it. You don't have to. Whereas an MP's pay, you are forced by law to pay for it.
Nick, you don't seem to understand the power of big business these days. The power of the consumer is being eroded.
Well, only to a certain extent. I mean, if you don't like Boots, then you can go to Superdrug or the local chemist of your choice.
Oh, but what happens if Superdrug is bought up by a huge conglomerate?
Well, then you go somewhere else.
Oh, but that's coming less and less likely.
Well, that is true. I mean, what you're describing is true. It's high streets are all becoming the same, and so essentially all these tiny shopkeeper-owned businesses are all becoming chains now, and the choice, as you describe, is getting smaller and smaller. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But we still can decide. We can decide. We have the power to close down any business we choose. All we have to do is to remove our business from it.
Well, you can vote for another party as well, but...
Yeah, but you still get the same people, though. It doesn't matter which party you vote for. You still get more or less the same faces. More or less the same faces doing more or less the same job.
No. That's not true at all.
You think they should get $100,000 plus their office expenses?
They should get three things. They should get £100,000 salary.
Yeah.
They should get their office staff costs.
Right.
And they should get accommodation allowances. And no funny business about mortgages or anything like that.
Well, they wouldn't need to have any funny business because what you've described is about £350,000 a year, something like that, per MP.
That's what I believe that the 650 elected lawmakers in this country are entitled to receive.
But when you say lawmakers, there's precious few of them who actually do anything in that regard at all. I mean, all the heavy lifting is being done by a few very well-paid people right at the top. I mean, MPs, by and large, what do they actually do?
Well, what I'm saying, they are all potentially lawmakers.
Right. Well, I'm potentially the President of the United States of America. Well, I'm not actually. I'm potentially the President of the United Kingdom of America.
How much does a city lawyer get?
Well, it depends who it is. It could be £1 million a year.
It could be £10 million a year, but the bloke who's making, or the person who's making the law, an MP, is only on a measly 70,000. Peanuts.
Right. Well, it's not peanuts. 70,000 ain't peanuts, David, unless you're Boris Johnson, in which case he would describe it as chicken feed.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Boris Johnson.
Right. Well, I'm glad of that, and only of that. Okay. Well, I'll take all of your points under advisement, David. Some texts and emails. I haven't done any of those so far this evening. How many have we got? Not a lot. Is this all we've got? Or is this all you've been bothered to cut and paste?
They're the ones that can go on air.
What, the rest are... She's just called you crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Do you mean they're all like that?
That's not actually what I said.
I think that's what you were saying, yeah. I think that's actually what you were saying.
I'll show you some of them later.
Right, OK. Nick, 1978 was the peak year, possibly because the planet had reached its optimum population balance and not overcrowded as it seems to be now, says Ron. Well, yes. That might actually be accurate. This is why I think that we are living in, and the more I think about it, the more I think I'm right, about this and everything else. It's wearying being right about everything all the time, Amanda. You can only imagine. You should follow me on Twitter for instructions.
I might unfollow you.
Oh, don't do it.
I might do. I might even block you.
No.
The thing is, you don't know if I'm talking about you on Twitter.
Well, the important thing to remember is I don't care.
You don't know what I might say.
Well, it can only be informed with love. It'll have love infused all the way through it. Not that kind of love, not icky love.
Ew, it's too hot for that kind of thing.
No, just respect.
Respect.
Yeah, awed respect.
Or fear.
Fear. There's only fear only goes one way in this relationship, and it's from you to me.
Eh?
Did I get that right?
No.
Right. Well, whatever way it is that I meant, that's the way it is.
What?
So just shut up about it.
Yes.
Here's a call in Kennington. Hello, Audrey.
Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
I'm not feeling too good today.
Oh, Audrey, why is that?
Well, I'm a chronic pain sufferer, and it's temperature sensitive, and I've been volunteering today. My knees went on Tuesday, so I'm having to deal with getting the circulation through them, you know, I shouldn't really be alive. I should really have seized up by now, but...
Are you doing your exercises?
I've done them, oh my Lord, all day long. You climb Everest every day, you slip back down, you wake up in the morning, you think, oh dear God, here we go again.
Yeah.
Pain management all day.
Well, that's the nature of those kind of exercises, Audrey.
Yes,
they never end.
Which is why I'm interested for many years in foods. We're going to talk about fish oils.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I see a glaring hole in this argument because countries other than Britain that eats a lot of fish, especially places like Japan,
yes,
unless there's a high incidence of prostate cancer in men in those countries, Norway, then surely it's got to be nonsense, unless the problem exists not in the fresh fish, as the other gentleman was saying, but in the capsule.
In the supplement.
Themselves.
Well, it could be, but then it could also have something to do with other lifestyle choices that the people of those countries make. Because you remember, science could never understand why the French weren't obese and dying of clogged arteries, because they cover everything in butter and cream.
Yes,
everything they eat is covered in butter and cream. They'll have a bowl of butter and they'll cover it with cream.
Yes. Well, I'm like you. I will never ever touch margarine. If I want to have a spread, which is not that often, maybe once a week, I will actually take a stick of butter out the freezer.
So yummy.
Proper butter.
Yeah.
And wait for it to go room temperature, put it on some good bread.
No. You're doing it wrong, Audrey.
I know we're not supposed to eat bread, but you can actually get good bread.
You can eat bread and you can eat butter, but you're doing it wrong.
Oh. Which bit is wrong?
The bit about you were waiting until the butter reaches room temperature. No.
No, I'm organised enough. So if I'm having my weekly breakfast, which is usually when I do, I'm organised enough.
Your weekly breakfast?
No, I mean proper cook breakfast. Because during the week I have porridge.
Yeah, me too.
And on a Sunday, I have the lean bacon, I have the free-range eggs, I have the beef tomato grilled, I have the mushrooms, and occasionally baked beans.
Okay, calm down, Audrey. It's only food.
But no, Nick, seriously, I think if this applies to the UK, there's a problem with that piece of research, because it's well known that fish diet is a very healthy diet.
Well, so they say, but you know what? They used to say that like tobacco was good for you. Well, they used to say that it gave you fresh breath confidence. No, they didn't. They said it helps you breathe more easily. No, that's not right. They said, I can't remember, but they changed their minds about what's good for you on a daily basis.
Well, I wonder if maybe it has something to do with the type of food we eat in this country, like you said. Because, for instance, our salmon now, except for the ones I eat,
farmed.
They're farmed. They put they had colorants to the meal that they feed them.
Yeah, that's why they're that reddy pink, because in real life they're not that pink.
Yes, and if I want some oily fish, I don't even bother with the tuna. I'll reach for the humble sardines.
Yeah, mackerel's good.
Yes, mackerel, and even that's getting a bit dodgy now. You know, mackerel,
is it?
Because regions of the world where they're catching this stuff, you've got to be careful, really, where your food is coming from, because the areas themselves, they're very, very polluted. And
well, everywhere's polluted. You can't eat anything anymore. I mean, they're saying that you can't eat... Well, it's true. They're saying you can't eat prawns. I love prawns, but they're... what are you doing that for?
That's my worst thing, prawns.
Prawns. Ooh, so yummy. Can I offer you a plate of raw prawns?
No, thank you. No, thank you. But, Nick, I would like someone, if they're listening in Japan or Norway or somewhere, to give us guys a ring and to say whether there's a high incidence of prostate cancer.
Right. Well, they may do that, but I won't understand a word they're saying.
Oh, yes, you will. They listen to us. And, anyway, listen, it's been a lovely day. It's been hot.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with British Heart Foundation, and Brixton was in top form today.
Really?
Listen, I went through the market. I'm glad the private developers did not get that place. I campaigned against it.
Yeah.
It's protected now. I noticed a high incident this year of men in their shorts and their shirts. Lovely to see them getting out the suit and ties. And they're all looking good.
Well,
yes,
really?
Yes.
If you say so.
Have you been in your shorts yet?
Not in public, Audrey. I don't do shorts. Like the mafia, I don't do shorts in public.
All right, okay. Well,
all right, thanks a lot, Audrey. Cheers, my dear. Keep well. 0845 6060 973. Some texts and emails. Do you know where prawns hang out? What does that mean?
Well, you know where they live, don't you?
In the bottom of the sea?
No. I don't know whether I should say on air.
In the middle of the sea?
It's a bit gross.
What do you mean, know where they live? They live in the sea.
Well,
stupid.
Yeah, okay, they live in the sea.
Sea, the
right?
sea. Mm-hmm.
But there's something quite unsavoury that gets spilled out into the sea, if you catch my drift. And that's their favourite place to be. So next time you're having a juicy prawn, okay?
Yes.
I hope I haven't ruined that for you.
No. Well, what about lobsters? They're all right, aren't they? They're just big prawns.
Do you often eat lobsters, do you?
No, twice in my life.
Twice in your life, yeah.
But they're fantastic. And they're huge prawns.
It's such a faff to eat, though, isn't it?
No. Faff?
Yes, it is.
Can you say that on the radio?
What, a faff? I just did, and you did, and then I just did again.
Over and over again, yeah. No, they're not a faff. They come unfaffed for your convenience.
The F
what
word
are you talking about?
No, they don't. Not always. You know when you've got to faff it all yourself?
No, I don't faff it myself. I have someone faff it for me.
They give you a faffing fork and then you faff it out.
I don't do it myself. I make somebody DIY it for me.
Do
no
they
faffing.
feed you as well?
Yeah. yeah. I didn't even have to wake up. Just as long as my mouth is open, they can just pop a couple of niblets in there. They can pre-chew it and then just pop it in.
Like a little bird.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 0845 6060 973. Here's East Sheen. Hello, Andre.
Good evening, Nick.
Andre.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Right, 1978 didn't do it for me.
Why is that?
Well, it was the first year I moved to London. and I paid £35 for this gap in South Kensington.
Yeah.
And I had to plug everything into the right socket because I had no sockets in the room.
No
I
sockets? How can a room have no sockets?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't have any sockets. I had to plug it in. I was naive. I come from the Channel Islands. It's just my first time in a big city. I was getting ripped off, I think. I had to plug everything into this into the light bulb socket.
No, I've only ever seen that on TV. How do you do that?
Well, I had to get a lead that comes down. It's like an extension lead. And it's sort of, you plug it into the actual socket. I remember rightly now. You plugged it into the socket, and then you just plugged your bits and pieces. I had a record player. I had a Russell Hobbs kettle, and I remember I had a red button on it. If I didn't keep an eye on the red button, it used to fuse all the lights. It used to fuse the landing lights and everything. The amount of times the landlord threatened to throw me out.
See, this is what I remember about the 70s, is nothing really worked very well, and convenience wasn't a thing that anybody was used to, and it just seemed like everything was broken.
Well, I just think it was sort of like a hip place to sort of move to live in London.
Yeah.
And I just think you just move there for the, when you're young and impressionable, you move there for the, for the postcode, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, it's an
I think
excellent
you have these
postcode.
landlords-
Yeah, no, it's only gone up in the world since you left.
Yeah, right. But I think you get sort of easily ripped off by landlords then, a lot more. And I think the only best thing about South Kensington, I remember there was a great cafe, it was an Italian cafe called Dino's. I think it's called Dino's.
Dino's?
Yeah, the side of South Kensington Station.
Oh, yeah. Well, that entire area has been transformed out of all recognition. Those people that lived by or live by South Kensington Station, because it used to be a fairly unlovely area, particularly that bit that went up towards the museums. And now it's been pedestrianised. And I bet that the people who were living there, who had bought those properties and were like suffering the traffic and the people and all the rest of it, I bet they're laughing themselves to sleep. Their property prices have shot up since that happened. It's a thoroughly nice place. You should go and check it out, Andre. It's improved remarkably since you were there last.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, mate. 0845 6060 973. This is Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3. Here's Bromley. Hello, Tom.
Hi there, Nick. Thanks for having me on.
Tom.
Privilege. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good, good. A couple of things I wanted to mention. First of all, I don't know what's going on with you and Amanda there, but I think you either need to kiss and make up or...
Get a room.
I don't know, do a high five or something. Yeah, or get a room. Do a high five.
You should see her face now.
I wanted to talk about the weather.
Yes.
On a serious issue, really. I don't want to put it down on it because I'm a young guy myself and I enjoy the sun. The elderly. My nan passed away in 2010, and it was due to the heat that we had.
Really?
Yeah, well, they say she had an aneurysm, and it was caused by that, and she was complaining for a couple of weeks before. So we assume it's that. She was 71, but I think that the heat did play a major factor in it.
Well, that's one of the things that's one of the things that the government and the various organisations have been stressing over and over again. The fact that you become less temperature resistant as you get older. Your ability to deal with extremes is lessened with age. So you might be right there.
On the way back home today on the bus, crowded bus, very hot. There was elderly people puffing their cheeks out.
Yeah.
I gave up my seat, obviously, but there was youngsters on their way out Saturday night who wouldn't give up their seats, and it was concerning me that, and this is a message to any youngster that's listening that still has a privilege, because my grandparents, I don't have any anymore, but to anyone that's listening that do, they should go round and, during this temperature, enjoy the heat. Don't get me wrong, it's nice weather for the youngsters, but go around and see your nan or your granddad to make sure they've got what they need, because people are really struggling at a certain age. It concerned me a little bit, but I think was it David, your previous caller, that was saying about publicising about the director of Boots. We should be publicising about the elderly and the heat and making sure that they're okay, not worrying about who gets £100,000 a year and
Who gets this and who gets that, yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Tom, and thanks for pointing that out. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
Ta-da, 0845 6060 973. He's completely correct. If there's somebody you know that is, they don't even have to be getting on a bit. Just check on the people that you know, the people that you love. When are you going to check on me, Amanda?
You're right.
Shut up.
Do you want some water?
I do actually want some water.
Oh, okay.
That's
horrible.
I'm enjoying some water right now as I speak.
Phew, I thought you wanted me to get some for you, because I'm not sure that would have happened.
It's just, what an absolute nightmare. You do understand that you're supposed to be my assistant. You're supposed to be assisting me. Awful person she is. Hey, you know what? There's let me do this just before the news, and then I'll take your calls after it. But on the theme of that last caller, and people not getting up on the bus for people who deserve a seat more than they do, or need a seat more than they do, and he did, and he saw some stupid moronic kids who didn't. Well, presumably because they could have not given up their seat because they thought it wasn't cool, or it made them look hard not to do it, or there's some other moronic childish reason. And you just put those thoughts to one side and just do the right thing. Well, talking about do the right thing, every now and again you'll read something and you think, oh, I am such a weak and pathetic person. Listen to this. A paralysed man who raised £20,000 for treatment to help him walk again has given the money away after hearing about the plight of a 5-year-old boy. Dan Black, 25, was left wheelchair-bound following a cycling accident in 2009. He and his family spent 4 years raising money for pioneering stem cell treatment. However, he has decided to surrender the funding after reading about an appeal for Brecon Vaughan, who was born with a rare condition which causes stiffness in his legs, poor balance and coordination. He's unable to walk. His family are trying to raise $60,000 for an operation in America to help him walk unaided for the very first time. And Dan Black, 25, who was left wheelchair-bound following a cycling accident, said he chose to give the £20,000 that he had raised for himself to this small boy because he thought that he had a better chance of walking than he did. How about that? Doesn't that make you feel small and pathetic? He said, I just wanted to do something that could help someone whose life could get better. The stem cell treatment that Mr. Black hopes will enable him to walk again is currently in development, and it will be at least 5 years before it's available. This is what he was raising his money for. And the pioneering procedure that could help the small child walk unaided has already been performed on more than 1,900 children. However, the procedure called, well, you don't need to know what it's called, is only carried out by a surgeon in Missouri. The NHS, not so much. And so he needed all that money, $60,000, to cover the surgery costs and the month-long spell in hospital, etc., and so on. And the 25-year-old lad who was left wheelchair-bound, who through great diligence, saved and raised $20,000 for his own treatment, gave it away to someone he thought might benefit more. How about that? Doesn't that make you feel small and pathetic? It did me. It did me. There was actually another one. I might as well do them both at the same time. A 70-year-old man donated a kidney, saving the life of a stranger because he wanted to give back to the NHS for helping him. John Carlyle, a grandfather, wanted to donate the organ as a thank you to the health service because he had previously lost 2 friends to kidney failure. His sacrifice has since saved the life of a woman in Leicestershire. The semi-retired father of 3 from Sheffield donated his kidney in May and has made a full recovery. He said he wanted to donate to show people can donate a kidney at any age. He said he came here 40 years ago from Zambia, and it's a country that's been very good to me, particularly the NHS. He said, they come over here, they donate their kidneys. There's another thing that made me feel small and weak and pathetic and useless. And no, Nick, you're not small and pathetic and weak and useless. So the least you can do when faced with extraordinary generosity and kind deeds like that is to go and check on someone you know. See, they're all right. And that endeth the lesson. So back with something a little bit more light-hearted. Let's hope so. After the new news, which is coming towards us at great speed. 0845 6060 973.
7.3. Call 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Here are the studio calls flashing up on the indicator.
Yeah, just before I take the next one, that was really weird. What an odd organisation they are. The Met Office said that there's a 90% possibility of us getting a heat wave. We have had a heat wave. We're having a heat wave. This is a heat wave. It's like them saying there's a 50% possibility it will get dark at night. What a stupid thing to say. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something, Amanda?
Quite possibly.
Shooting me down all the time. Quashing me. You're squelching me. Here's a call in Banstead. Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
Charlotte.
Hello. I heard you mention earlier you thought it was the best time to be living.
Yes.
Apparently.
Right now.
Right. But I beg to differ.
Well, that makes you wrong, then.
Well, we're supposed to be the most intelligent species on the planet.
Yeah.
But we haven't progressed very far, have we?
Oh, are you kidding? We've got apps and everything.
Yeah, regarding technology.
Yeah.
But we can't seem to live together on the planet.
Well, that's one of the reasons that made us so successful, our innate aggression and territoriality.
Yeah, but we should be able to start living together as people. All these years we've been on the planet. We just
What
got
the
worse.
world needs now is love, sweet love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Well,
we
don't hold
seem
your
to-
breath.
We don't seem to care we're destroying the animals that share the planet with
Oh,
us.
but they're so yummy. Mmm.
You know, we all should be. Oh, I don't know. The planet should be a better place.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's a
better.
fantastic place, Charlotte. We got air conditioning and waitress service. What more could you want?
Yeah, but I don't understand. I don't know if the church could do better more, but I don't know.
Please. Is that a joke? I'll assume it is.
No.
The church. Yeah, okay, well, you could think that. I can't possibly comment. Thanks a lot, Charlotte.
No.
084. She always seems panicky and worried. Oh, relax. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. They say that 1978 was the peak of the human race. Is that right? 0845 6060 973. The reason that I feel that this right now is the best time to be alive is because we're about to have a population explosion, the likes of which you can't imagine. This is why the buildings are going up in London at an incredible rate. They're building all these tiny little flatlets, and they are small. We're being encouraged to live in ever smaller and more confined spaces. And that is eventually probably going to be the end of us, on an unhappy note, because more and more people will be competing for fewer and fewer resources. And when China and India and Brazil and all the rest of it start wanting the same, or not wanting, they want it now, start getting the same sort of lifestyle that we have and they have in America, then we're doomed. Because there's definitely not enough to go around at that level of enjoyment. There just isn't. Everybody will want a fridge the size of a door that you can actually walk into, and everybody will want a flat screen TV the size of a tennis court, and they'll want your hardwood flooring and all the rest of it that goes with. And we just can't afford it. There isn't enough to go around, and so there will be wars for Corian, there'll be water wars, there'll be kitchen stool wars, all of these things that people will be like fighting each other for, and so this is why I feel that this point right now in when we got when medicine is actually maybe not this point, maybe in maybe 20 years, because medicine, you would think, we seem to be on the cusp of a revolution in medicine. We seem to be on the cusp of a revolution in power. I mean, they've got to be inventing something that's better than the internal combustion engine. I mean, they'll have to come up with something better than that. Shall we say 20 years? So in 20 years' time, they might actually be able to watch a TV program down the internet without it buffering all the time. Let's give them 20 years. After that, they're definitely all downhill. Here's a call in Liverpool. Hello, Linda.
Oh, hi, Nick. How
Linda,
are you?
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Right. After speaking to you the last time, I was thinking of our Mers.
Mers?
Mers.
Mers?
Bojo.
Oh, Mers.
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 My accent's not that bad, surely, Nick.
No, you're saying Mers.
I'm trying to speak middle class. Mers.
I'll
As
try
in the
harder.
Mer. You've got Bojo, haven't you?
The Mer of London, yeah.
Now, we've got Nojo in Liverpool.
Who?
Nojo.
Is Nojo a no-show?
No, Nojo is Ahmed Joe Anderson, and every time he speaks, we say Nojo. And I thought that was quite a tenuous link between Bojo and Nojo.
Is he
Either
3
way,
years
we both
old?
don't know what they're talking about.
Nojo.
We've got Nojo.
Does he have to sit on the naughty step?
Well, every time he comes up with a new suggestion, like selling off Sefton Park, in unison we say, us socialists say, Nojo, please, Nojo.
Right. While wagging your finger in his face.
Say, please, no, Bojo.
No Bojo.
To Bojo, do you say no, Bojo?
Well,
or do we just, is it a Liverpool thing, we say no, Joe?
Well,
or do you say no, Bojo?
No Bojo, yeah, I get it, kind of.
Do you get the sort of tenuous link?
No.
You've got Bojo and we've got Nojo.
Nojo and Bojo, yeah, I understand
Nojo and Bojo.
Yeah.
And we both know what we'll do with both Joes. But the point is, Nick, what I really wanted to talk about...
There's more?
There's more. There's a lot more.
Well, but I'll be the judge of that.
My real gripe today was G4.
G4?
G4, the private company that have been...
They did an excellent job in the Olympics, didn't they?
Contract
more
than
than that.
Tag people that have, it seems...
Well, we don't know yet, so don't start flinging accusations around to a security company because they've got all the muscle. I'll use Amanda as a shield.
Do you mean financial muscle or
both.
physical muscle?
Yeah, I think you've said enough. Well, thanks a lot, Linda. Always a pleasure. 0845 6060 973. No Joe Bojo. No Joe Bojo. No Bojo Joe Bojo. I'm going to call in when Bozo the Mayor gets when he's on Nick Ferrari next. When's he on Nick Ferrari next? I'm going to call in and I'll go, no, Bojo.
Well, I'm not going to tell you, am I?
Oh, go on.
Saboteur.
Someone's got to tell him. For years, says this message, we were told by the authorities to eat margarine for our heart. The authorities? Really? The authorities said that? I mean, I know they had a lot of spurious health claims about margarine, that if you eat butter, then it's going to make you explode from the inside out. But you know what? The butter is so yummy. And margarine isn't. Unless they're advertising with us, in which case it's an excellent spread to put on your bread. No, and you know that lady I was talking to, she was wrong. You do not allow butter to come to room temperature unless you're making a cake. I saw that on the telly. Got to make a cake with butter that's at room temperature. What?
Oh, you saw it on the telly, so it must be true.
Well, that's what it said on the TV.
Right, so the internet...
There's about 1 million cookery shows on TV. You can't turn on the television without seeing one of them. About Nigella stirring something, or
you saw it once
Ina
on the TV.
Garten inviting her chums around for a snack, and all the rest of it. Yeah.
So, if the TV told you to jump off a cliff, would you do that?
Oh,
would you?
Truth. Are you joking?
No.
Are you my mother?
Thank heavens not.
I echo those sentiments. Yes, thank heavens not. If the television told you to jump off a cliff, would you? Yes, as a matter of fact, I would. I think if I have to do another show with you, I'll jump off a cliff.
If I told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it?
Only tied to you.
Oh, tandem, yeah.
0845 6060 973. What was I talking about just before that? I have no idea. It was very important. What was it? You're very distracting. Have I mentioned that? And annoying. Have I mentioned that? For years you were told... Oh, margarine, that's right. For years we were told by the authorities to eat margarine for our heart, and then we learned it contained harmful hydrogenated fat which blocks arteries. Exclamation mark, says Jill. Oh, and what I was talking about was butter. That nice lady was saying that you had to... before you spread it on your toast, you have to let it arrive at room temperature, which is wrong. No, you want to cut it off in giant cold chunks. That's the bit, because it's the cold part in combination with the hot of the toast that makes it so yummy. I'd say about a half an inch thick, and just put it on your, like about the size of an ice cube. Just put it right there on a piece of toast and bite through it. In cold weather, I would recommend keeping a pat of butter in the glove compartment of your car in case you get peckish. Let's take a break, and I'll be right back with a call from Estonia, believe it or don't. Nick Abbott, LBC...
Nick Abbott.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. Well, we'll see. It might not be. Estonia. Hello, Dave.
Hello. Talking about the population numbers.
Yes.
But first, I would maybe want to undermine my own point by admitting to doing something a bit strange with butter and toast. During the 1978 and the 70s and 80s, going on holiday with my parents, we would go to hotels, and it is impossible to get hot toast in a hotel.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless it's on the side there and you can do it yourself. When it arrives to you, stone cold. Yeah.
And so the experience of having breakfast in a hotel is always butter on a bit of cold toast. And so to remind me of these times, these more innocent times, I actually, after I make toast, I put it in the fridge. And that cools the toast down. Yes. Because then obviously you can't be bothered to wait until it cools down naturally. So you bung it in the fridge, a couple of minutes, it comes out nice and cold, and then you spread your butter at room temperature onto the toast, and you have hotel toast.
Well, I don't mean to be offensive, Dave, but you're nuts.
Although room temperature in Estonia is about -20 anyway, so it doesn't make some difference.
Let me, I'll just pass this on as we're talking about this. The most sensational food you've ever had in your life is toast that's only been cooked on one side. Have you ever done that?
Yes, by mistake when I was making toasted cheese and I forgot to turn it over.
Yeah, well, you won't notice a difference if you've got cheese on it, but it is a sensation. Just ordinary white sliced bread, not bread, I don't think it works with brown, but white sliced bread, toast it on one side, and then put the butter on the toasted side. Oh, it is sensational.
You could make a sandwich with the soft bits on the inside so it looks like a toasted sandwich.
Okay, well, now you're just being perverted.
Anyway, it was about this population question.
Yes.
It's quite a seductive argument to say, oh, there's too many people, the resources are not enough, we have to have less people. And, well, I mean, if you look at the size of the world, it's a big place. And if you look at the rate of consumption of resources that the Western world indulges in, I mean, if you take America, a figure plucked out of the vague memory at the back of my mind, if everybody in the world consumes the world's resources at the rate of the average American,
we need another planet.
In 40 years, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So it is an unsustainable model.
Completely.
We're all trying to follow.
Now, before you say it, Dave, we're not going to accept having less. We just won't. Everybody else will want as much as we have.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, we seem to be coming to a crisis point, certainly, but I don't think the answer is to reduce the world's population. It is, I'm afraid, to change fundamentally our goals and the way we use the resources that we already have.
And do you think there's any possibility of that?
Well, humanity is basically a big mass of stupid people, isn't it? and I include myself in this. And so we're all, we've got an amazing ability to project into the future and to anticipate problems. And we've got an amazing ability to then completely ignore those problems.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to say. We can anticipate them, it'd be just doing anything about them completely with our ability, yeah.
But nature has a trick up its sleeve, which is it forces us to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going down the road happily and someone says, oh, you want to drive a bit more carefully, you go, yeah. But then you have an accident, and then you think, right, I have personal experience of the need to change, so now I will change. So what we're experiencing now is the beginning of the end of, the way that we live.
Yeah, and we're getting the lesson from which we'll learn nothing until it's too late.
Well, I mean, it will crash and it will rise again,
Well, I think eventually the world will just shrug us off, and another species will take over in 100,000 years or 1,000,000 years or whatever it might be. But in the meantime, I suspect that rather than make do with less, we'll go to war and take what's not ours from other people who can't defend themselves as well as we can. Yes.
Well, I mean, do we have enough money? I mean, look at the trillions that we've already wasted in pointless skirmishes in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that.
Well, that's that's the starter. The main course is yet to come, and it will be fights about war and about food and all of the rest of it. And this is just. Like my God's better than your God stuff. I mean, all that will go by the wayside when it gets really serious.
But, you look at people in India and poorer places. Well, I suppose India's maybe not the best example because it's a developing country that's about to take the next step. But in the poorest places that you can imagine, and you look at the people there, and they're not actually miserable and hating everything. They're like, well,
but you see, that's because they haven't lost the lifestyle that they got used to. They're still living their life, and you get your happiness where you can if you're living in the street or whatever it might be. But if you are used to living in a 3,000 square foot house with air conditioning and a walk-in fridge and 2 ovens and like a maid and all the rest of it, and suddenly all that gets taken away from you and you're living on the street, then you wouldn't be very happy because you used to be better off.
Well, the proportion of people who would be unhappy about that is so insignificant that we can just say, well, tough.
Well, I suppose so, but unfortunately for that scenario, Dave, the people who would be most affected by it are the ones who can do most to stop it happening.
For the moment, but I think this power is turning. Maybe I'm just a naive optimist, but who are we ruled by, really, at the moment? We're ruled by corporations.
Yes.
And corporations are these soulless collective entities that act like psychopaths.
Exactly, yeah. Well, they act more like animals, like rapacious animals, sort of like prawns, really, feeding and sucking up as much as they possibly can.
But then what happens is they get hold of their own tail and they think, oh, here's something else to eat, and they start eating away at themselves because they've got no awareness of the greater construct that they're a part of. They're trying to deny that they're actually a part of everybody.
Well, they're trying to deny that the end could possibly come, because in the good times, when you're raking in the money, you can't see that ending, and where we're experiencing this right now with the banks when they were making it, well, still are, but before when they were making a ton of money, doing all these preposterous, stupid, ridiculous, reckless things, and they were making so much money that they couldn't conceive that the good times would ever end. And you continue to be blinkered until they end. And then somebody else will take over.
When do you think that end will happen? I mean, we're coming to the end of, we're printing money, quantitative easing, all this stuff. when do you think the point will come when the economy will finally drop and say, we cannot exist on this?
Well, you know, what we're going through right now is actually very interesting, and I wonder how it will be written up in 10 years' time if we actually have people left alive in 10 years' time with access to the internet or paper and pencil, whatever it might be. But it seems to me, you know, from the outside, speaking as someone who's got no idea what he's talking about, that the denouement, the actual end of this ongoing slow-motion catastrophe is just being kicked down the road. It hasn't been solved, and these people are saying, oh, see green shoots here and positive signs here. It's they might do, but they're not taking the bigger picture. I mean, if you look with tunnel vision at an area of a giant steaming pile of ordure, you might see a shoot, but that doesn't mean to say that what you're looking at is positive in any way, because if you look back, then you will see that you're looking at a mountain of, product.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, how long can it last?
I've got no idea, mate. I mean, really, it's kind of exciting, really, isn't it? I mean, there's people that are saying, you know, they've upgraded the future prospects for the economy of this country, and Chancellor is saying that he's, you know, seeing the future has never been so bright, and yet on the other hand, the rest of the world has been downgraded. So everybody that we do trade with, everybody that we rely on for our future wealth and happiness, they're all screwed, but we're fine. Who are they trying to kid?
Well, I mean, I think the thing that's happened, obviously, the biggest story at the moment is the Snowden revelations.
Yeah.
I think that is indicative of a bigger turning point. I think that the symbol is somebody standing and saying, I have had enough.
I think it's the youth. I think what's happened is that the youth have grown up with different sets of values to their parents and their parents' parents. And the parents and the parents' parents haven't really got that into their heads yet, and so they're giving youths the access to all of this information because they're the ones with the ability with information technology. And what they haven't really grasped yet is that they didn't grow up in the same circumstances, their parents and their parents' parents, and they don't have the same values, and they don't have the same world outlook, and they have a greater sense of, what would you call it, fairness, perhaps. And they see these things that essentially rub them up the wrong way. They see things that aren't right as they see it, and and once one does it, then others have the notion that the right thing to do would be to alert the population of what their government is doing to them. And so I think that the cat is out of the bag. And this is why the Americans want this guy so much, because they want to make an example of him, to try to stuff the genie back in the bottle. But I don't think they're going to be able to manage that unless they want 50, 60-year-olds running their IT departments, which is not going to work.
Well, I mean, the old guard is dying off, isn't it? And they will necessarily be replaced. You know, the people who will be in the future NSA are people like Snowden, and they're going to say, well, we don't want to do things your way anymore. So, time will heal all, I think, and we will all live in the Garden of Eden.
Well, I'll look forward to that.
Hand in hand.
Save me an apple. Thanks a lot, Dave. Cheers, mate. 0845 6060 973. You hear that? It's going to be the Garden of Eden. Let me read some texts and emails, and then we'll go to the new news, and we'll come out with our all guns blazing in our last half hour. Well, wall-to-wall calls. That's what I'm after. Don't depart from me now. This one says, I live in Cornwall, and the mackerel is great, and the water is blue, and Amanda is right. In polluted seas, prawns live by sewage outlets. Well, they wash them before you eat them. Huh? What are you doing?
You know that black vein that you
Yeah.
get in a prawn?
Mm.
Yeah, you want to take that out.
Well, I do take that out.
Well-
Some of them don't have them.
Okay, so it's just seeped into everything.
Oh. Well, what is it? Don't tell me.
I think I don't need to tell you.
No.
No?
Oh, you've ruined prawns.
I told you. They're a bad idea.
Oh, I like prawns.
Ew. That's not the only reason I don't like them, though.
Well, what about lobsters? Because they're...
We've already had this conversation.
Well, I know, but can I not eat... Well, I can't afford lobsters, so it's a moot point. But what about lobsters? They're huge prawns.
Well, I don't know where they hang out.
You know what? We're going to have to eat insects. Because there's billions and billions and billions... Get David Attenborough on the phone and ask him how many insects there are. There's loads of them. I think you'll find that is correct.
Correct.
There's billions of them. And insects like, like grubs and cockroaches and all that, they just land prawns. That's pretty much exactly what they are. It's the same thing. So icky. That's our future. Insects. Great big juicy grubs wriggling about on the plate. Well, you can kill them first. Sure, why not? Enjoy yourself. I'll give you... I'll pass you one of those magnifying glasses and you can execute them by the sun. Won't that be fun? 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3. The time 12:30.
LBC 97.3. Call 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Yes, let's immediately go to a call in Poplar. Hello, Jeffrey.
Nick.
Jeffrey.
How the hell are you?
I am great, mate.
I'm not happy with Amanda.
Oh, really? Well, that's two of us.
Yeah, good man. She just stole my thunder because the defecation she was talking about that the prawns were eating, you just have to nip the guts out and they're perfectly good.
Yeah, so yummy and juicy and scrummy.
That's it, and best fried in lots of butter.
Butter, yeah. Actually, best put on a pizza.
Oh, I can't be doing that.
What?
It's just dry bread. I don't mind your half-toasted bread, because if you do that in front of a fire on a fork...
Yeah.
Then you got a nice squishy bit.
Actually, you know, most people just toast in a toaster, and so they never experience the delight of toast done on one side. Trust me, it's excellent.
I know, you stick it in front of a fire. Any road, don't know how to put this to you. You're wrong.
What?
Yes. There are no such things as seagulls.
No such things as seagulls?
Correct.
Yes, there are.
No,
yes, there are. Seagulls?
No, there are gulls.
Yes.
None of which are called seagulls.
Apart from the ones that are seagulls.
And they're not seagulls.
Well, what are they?
They're...
Egrets.
Let's not be flash here. In Germany, they're called mews.
Mews?
Right. M-E-W-S.
Right, the preposterous rock band of the same name.
Rock and roll!
Mews.
Good lad. Yes, Muse.
Does anybody actually listen to Muse? I mean, you buy like, I've got like 3 of their albums, but does anybody actually just sit there and listen to them? Because I can't actually imagine it. They're kind of amusing to see live, but do people actually sit down and listen to a Muse record? Really?
Prefer Radiohead.
Radiohead, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Meanwhile, those people that...
Having said that, I would rather see Muse live and listen to Radiohead on CD than the other way around. Well, Amanda's shaking her head like she knows anything about music.
She does, she knows
Radiohead are great live.
Yeah, they're all right.
Tell them, Amanda.
Yeah, they're okay.
they're
okay.
engaging.
They're all right. They just stand there and play. It's like...
No, they don't. Just stand there
I didn't know you
like
knew it that well, Nick.
That's a perfect rendition. It's almost like listen to the record, ain't it?
Sushi.
Sushi, yeah.
Now, for those people that aren't as rich as you and I, on £3 a week, if you can't afford to go to the bar, a sushi bar, what you need to do is you need to peel a fish finger, stick it on a Scalextric.
Well, this is turning into a cookery show now.
I mean, can you just vision that? Peeled fish finger on a Scalextric. It's going to go round and round like they do in a sushi bar.
Well, you've been giving this a lot of thought, Jeffrey. It sounds like a business opportunity. You set it up and, raise all the money and make it into a business, and then we'll split the profits 50-50. How does that sound?
I'll send you the plan.
Excellent. Cheers, mate. 0845 6060 973. Scientists have discovered that 1978 was the year that the world's quality of life peaked, after which it has gradually deteriorated ever since. So what are the signs that the human race has peaked? What indications are there that since 1978 life has just got worse? 0845 6060 973. Don't leave me now. Can you believe that, by the way, that we've had such a tremendous response so far? I thought I was going to get nothing all night long, and the calls have flooded in. I've been barely able to get through them fast enough.
It's been good.
And now, in the last half hour of the programme, as usual, everybody is like flat out on their backs, dying of exhaustion, because they've been contributing so much.
Do you know how I think?
10 lines free. I am stunned. We've only got 10 lines, and they're all free. Yes?
I think that we've peaked because fashions keep going round and round and round and round.
Well, talking about fashion, people just... what's a polite way of saying this? People look like idiots in the late 1970s. They just did. If you ever see videos of people in 1970... Well, any year of the 70s, people look preposterous. Also, they kind of looked uglier, too. It's almost as though, as a race, as the human race, we have got better looking. And it's not just the hair, and it's not just the flares, or the cheesecloth shirts, or the crop bomber jackets, or any of that stupid stuff that we used to wear. I think people's faces have actually got better. I think that's actually true. I mean, if you go back further, and people did look as though they were a bit Neanderthalic. I mean, you don't have to go back very far, like the 60s, for instance. If you were alive in the 60s, you're probably a mouth-breathing knuckle-dragger. No offence. Here's a call on the M25. Hello, Robert.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good, thanks.
This is going to sound extremely cheesy, but hey, I thought I'd phone up anyway. 1978, my girlfriend was born, and I personally don't think you can get much better than her.
Really?
So,
but this
I
is
reckon,
after extensive research, is it, Robert?
Unfortunately, yes.
Right.
very, very much trial and error.
Right. Well, keep trying, and eventually you might succeed.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Good
Enjoy
man.
the rest of your night.
Thanks a lot. 0845 6060 973. And some texts and emails. 1978, this is the subject. Thatcher and her cronies came to power in 1979, says this email, and the British Isles started to fall apart, says Jimmy. Well, coincidentally, by the way, I mean, on an relatively unrelated subject, the Conservative Party is seeking a rebrand. You know Bob Crow, nice Bob Crow, the RMT General Secretary. He will seek to exploit Labour's wranglings with trade unions by urging the movement to break ties with Ed Miliband and create a party that speaks for working people. And you know what? He's in luck. Because that party is here, and it's called the Conservative Party. This is going to happen next week. A drive to shed the Conservatives' image as the party of the rich is going to be launched by Tory MPs next week as they try to reposition the party as the champion of the low-paid. Yeah, well, good luck with that. The campaign is going to target working class and ethnic minority voters outside the Tories' south-east heartlands as part of the party's efforts to win crucial marginal seats in the North and the Midlands, which it will need to do to win an overall majority at the 2015 election. Marriage with Nick not going so well. The Tory MPs have linked up with think tank experts to draw up ideas for the party's manifesto designed to show it's on the side of ordinary people. Well, I wonder if that's how they describe them. Ordinary people. You know, boring, ordinary people. Some Tory MPs are privately worried about David Cameron and George Osborne's label as two posh boys, and rhetoric from ministers dividing people into scroungers and strivers. However, organisers of the campaign believe the party's branding problem in the North is mainly a legacy from the huge job losses during the Thatcher government, which is exactly what that last message said, in brief. The director of the group is going to be a fellow called David Skelton, the former Deputy Director of Policy Exchange, a think tank with close links to Mr Cameron's modernising project. Have you noticed how modern they are? He said it's still possible for the Conservatives to win a majority at the next election, but to do so, they will need to continue to show that they're on the side of hard-working people. They seem to have copyrighted that phrase. Ordinary, hard-working people. There's going to be a pamphlet. There's going to be a pamphlet to mark the launch of the new group on Monday. I do so hope, dear listener, that you manage to get your hands on the pamphlet.
Yeah.
Spending cuts, introduced by the coalition since 2010, have harmed the Tories' standing among some voters in the north, especially public sector workers. The party's unpublished inquest into its failure to win an overall majority at the last election found that the main reasons included a lack of support among public sector employees and ethnic minorities, and in Scotland land, where it was seen as uncaring, and has been so since the Thatcher era. So that's going to be happening next week. There's something to look forward to, eh?
Negative.
Here is Hampton Court. How delightful. Hello, Claire.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks.
It's a bit off topic, but I was just phoning about what you said a few minutes ago about people being a bit ugly in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because there were more white people in England then, and now there's lots of kind of mixed race people, and everyone's looking a bit more exotic, and it just makes them more beautiful.
Well, that's an interesting thought, Claire. That's very inclusive and rainbow flag of you, but I'm not sure that's correct.
I know. I'm just thinking of my friends, and all the really beautiful ones have got one parent that's not from England.
Right.
And it does seem to, just create maybe a bit darker skin, a bit more exotic looking, and
Yeah, I get it. Like the country has become a great big melting pot. Big enough to take the world and all it's got. They'll be stirring for 1,000 years or more, turning out coffee-coloured people by the score.
Rock and roll!
Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know, just a bit of exotic.
Yeah.
Exoticness.
Right.
Less kind of pale, ill-looking English people.
Right, well, I understand what you mean.
And
I'm not sure
one
it's
of them,
right.
by the way.
Right, okay. Well, you probably look fantastic, Claire. I've got no idea. Well, let's assume that you do. All right, thanks for that. Cheers. 0845 6060 973. No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I just think that people's faces... I think that people that don't look that great have been edged out by natural selection. Can you believe, Amanda, that natural selection has worked on the human race for tens of thousands of years to produce us?
I thought
By
you were
which
going
I
to say
mean
something
you.
about me slipping through the net then. Do you think it's got something to do with better quality food and more varied food since the 1970s?
Well, no, it could quite possibly be. However, the flip side of that is that people in their 70s weren't fat.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Every now and again there'll be, the Daily Mail do this all the time. They'll say, here's a set of pictures from, I think today it was New York in the 1970s, something like that. And you look through in these crowd scenes, and initially you think, there's something that's odd there, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And what's odd is that there's nobody in a crowd of 1,000 people that's overweight. They're all thin. So people used to look better in that regard, but I think just facially, people look better now, overall, by and large. And the further back you go, the more weird and kind of Neanderthal-like and sort of stupid people used to look. I mean, you go back to people that served in the First World War, you know, those the pictures of, our brave boys, or brave boys from other countries, and they kind of look like, you can tell they're from another era. It's not something you can define. It's not this is different, or, it's eyebrows or nose or whatever it might be. You just think, they're just not modern. They don't have a modern face. And what might that be?
I was thinking about when you look back at a photo of, say, somebody from your parents' era or even your parents, and everybody from that era looks older than the same age people from the era now.
Yeah, I like an old picture of my dad sitting in a cafe, and I think, well, he's probably like, 30, 35 years old, and he's a teenager.
18, yeah, exactly. There was just something about how people... I don't think the style of dress was very flattering for everybody, and I think that people tried to follow fashions that only worked on a certain amount of people, whilst now there's a more variety, so people can generally select things, I think, that are going to suit them better.
Well, I don't think that's...
but that's not always true.
That's not a profitable road to go down, because I don't think that we really dress well at all these days. I mean, most people dress shockingly badly.
Well, I mean, I think you're taking that from looking around here on a Saturday night, and I think generally people are hobbling along on ridiculous shoes, and it's freezing cold and they haven't got a coat, that kind of thing. But
and that's just the men.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that people can generally dress, they have more variety, so they can dress better. So, like, you look back at photos of people in the 60s, and whether they had the legs for it or not, they were wearing a miniskirt.
Right. Well, you could say the same for about Leicester. If you go out in Leicester Square tonight, people are going to be wearing the most preposterous clothes, whether or not they can actually get away with it.
Yeah. There is an element of that, but I think that happened more. And I think you're right about the fashions. I think they were just generally more unflattering.
Well, in the 70s, terrible.
Yeah, the colours were awful, and the cuts of the clothes were awful.
50s, I think it was pretty good, actually. I mean, sharp suits for men and, nice...
Full dresses.
Exactly, full dresses, yeah. But the 60s was a bit of a weird period, and the 70s was just absolutely shocking. I mean... even the 80s were better than the 70s, and that's really saying something.
That's weird, isn't it? Because I remember even during the 80s thinking that the clothes were rubbish.
They were.
And I used to love my stonewashed jeans, so... They've come back round again, you see.
No, they haven't.
Well, they have done for quite a while now, but obviously I'm not going to get some, because I think it's true. If you can remember something the first time around, then you shouldn't be buying it the second time around.
Yeah, precisely, yes, because you're way, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, you're way too old.
You stonewashed jeans, by the way.
It's called in Bury. Kimberly.
Hello.
Kimberly.
That's right.
Yes, Kimberly. How are you doing?
I would like a bit of advice of you, please, if I could.
Sure, why not? This is the advice centre. The doctor is in.
Oh, very good. I hope he's got a good bedside manner.
That very much depends on how big is your chequebook.
Well, let's say you wouldn't get in a suitcase.
Right. So, what's the problem, Kimberly?
Right, what it is last week, my energy suppliers came round and read both meters. 2 days later, bills came through. And my bill was £28.19.
£28?
Yeah, this is for my gas, but I live alone, and it's just for, like, say, boiling egg, because I found out that I've got different things wrong with me, so I've had to cut down for cholesterol, and you know what I mean? So it's not being used. So I rung them up, and she wasn't very nice to me. Oh, very, very rude. And she says, well, you have to spend, the £28. I said, no, I'm not paying it. I said, can you just tell me how much I've used? She said, we're not allowed to. I said, I beg your pardon? She said, no, we're not allowed to.
Not allowed to tell you how much you've used? It's on your bill.
Yeah, but I can't read. You know how they do it in units, and I've not got a clue.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
No. So...
Honestly, Kimberly, £28 for a gas bill, that seems really small.
Well, I'm not using it, so... But when I say this next bit...
Yeah.
So she did agree to tell me. And guess how much out of the £28.19 I've used?
I can't guess. It's beyond me.
£3.
So what's the other 25?
That's standing charge.
Wow.
Every day.
Really?
Yeah. So I said, oh, come on. I said, you've known all this time I've been with you that I only have low bills. I said, my highest has been about £6.50. And she said to me, well, that's your problem, not mine.
What excellent service they give. Well, that's terrible. And by the way, what's a line rental charge that we all have to pay for a line that's already stuck up our house? What's that about?
I don't know, but...
A standing charge for your gas. I am stunned.
So, the day after I was still annoyed, so I rang back and spoke to someone and I said, I'd like you to take it out, please. I said, because I'm not paying £25 for it to be stood there.
For a £3 bill, yeah.
He said, we can't. I said, yeah, you can do it. She was okay then, so they arranged for Friday morning for it to come, so I waited in. And by 1 o'clock I went, well, yeah. So I rung up, and they said, I'm sorry, but we came at 5 to 9 this morning. I said, no, you didn't. But you see, I live in a flat, and I see who comes and who goes.
Right, well, yeah, and the amount of times that I've had something that's supposed to be delivered into to my flat, and I've waited there in great anticipation, waiting desperately for somebody to ring on my doorbell, and then I will come down like several hours later, and in the post box, because I live in a block of flats, and I've got a pigeonhole downstairs, in the pigeonhole it will say, oh, well, we came, but you weren't in. Damn it, I was in.
I know.
Well, listen, don't take any of their crap, will you, Kimberly? You stick up for yourself, all right?
Oh, I will.
Cheers, my dear. Let us know how it happened, how it worked out. 0845 6060 973. Kensal Green. Hello, David.
Hello, Nick. Hello,
David.
boss. Yeah, Nick, just a quick point with that girl earlier, yeah? She wants to open her eyes up a bit more, yeah? Don't be so racist in some of her remarks. That's all I'm going to say with that.
Who's that?
Oh, that girl earlier going on about ugly white people. She wants to look around and look at someone. Everybody can be ugly, or it depends on her perception of what's ugly or.
I think she actually was white, but anyway.
Whatever. She needs to think about what she says before she opens her mouth. That's all I would advise her.
I wouldn't be too upset about it.
I know. I'm not. But Nick, you're saying 70s. The fashion then, there were some bad tank tops, there were some bad hairdos, there were some bad flares.
Orange and brown. I rest my case.
But Nick, come on. I walk up Oxford Street, I walk up Edgware Road, I walk up Kilburn, I walk along the Harrow Road I walk round Kensal Green. What do I see now? I see kids with their trousers round their ankles and every colour of every young man's underpants is visible, I go, if it's not that madness, it's to the other madness of everybody now walking around in trousers like they call them carrot trousers or something now, and they're all walking around like Justin Bieber. I mean, come on, Nick. I mean, the fashion now is
I'm
going
not comparing it to now. I'm not saying that the fashion now is any good. I'm just saying that in the 70s it was terrible.
Oh, no, come. There was good materials, all right, the designs.
Nylon? Are you crazy?
All right. Crimpling and nylon an exception to the rule, but at least you had you had some good designs. You had good materials as well. You also had you had colour. You had versatility. Well, I'd say right up to the early 90s.
Mauve, that's the colour that you had. Mauve and purple and brown. I don't like brown.
Yeah, but Nick, I've got to disagree. I think there was a lot of things better. All right, not fashion-wise. I think the music and fashion, there were some better things then than now. Honestly, at least they weren't all voice boxes and X Factor.
Well, I agree with you there. Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, have a good evening.
All right,
brother.
Cheers, mate. 0845 6060 973. Yeah, at least it didn't sound like all music was made by a robot. At least it didn't make everybody sound like Cher. I'm gonna live and love and live. Painful. The RSPCA Animal Cruelty Hotline has released a list of the charity's top silliest calls. Every now and again they'll get a list like this that will come out. There was recently one about 999 calls. Remember that? Oh, the hilarity. Oh, wait a minute. I've got my bloomin'... I lost £20 million last night. Euro millions. So I've got a new system. This will be a winner. I've got my new system, Amanda.
Wasn't your new system in place last
No, it
week?
didn't work.
No, it didn't work at all. Was that you press the button twice?
So now my new system is to go through the whole thing and tell them that I want a ticket for Tuesday, and then switch it after they've decided what my numbers are with a lucky button, and then switch it from Tuesday to Saturday. Ha-ha! Charade they are.
Draw on a Tuesday. I thought there was a draw on a Wednesday.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's the Tuesday draw and Friday draw is...
That's Christo, you can hear.
Yeah, OK. Well, you get plenty enough time on the air, Christo, as it is. Please contain yourself until it's your turn.
Just trying to help.
Try harder. Oh, I've lost my numbers. Oh, anyway, who cares? I've lost. I've lost. Damn it! I love that game.
I hate it!
So the RSPCA Animal Cruelty Hotline has released a list of the charity's top silliest calls. And this list was released as the Overstretched Charity asked people to think carefully before calling. And by which they mean, you stupid idiots. RSPCA Chief Inspector Dermot said, summer has always seen surges in demand, but like many charities, we're facing a big rise in calls at this time when our resources are most under strain. He said, much as we'd like to help, we simply haven't got the staff to personally investigate each and every issue that the public brings to us, so we must prioritise to make sure that we get to the animals most in need. And the charity advised callers that local authorities deal with stray dogs, and police need to be involved with animals left in hot cars, while injured wildlife should be taken to a vet. And information on the RSPCA website should be consulted first before calling the charity. And before you even think about it, they're not interested in ducks. In my experience, they don't care. So a spokesman for the RSPCA said staff always expected a high level of calls in the summer, but crank or silly calls wasted their time. There's been an increase in calls of 65% since January. Top 10 crazy calls to the RSPCA. You ready? A person complained that a cat was not responding to calls to come into the house. A caller wanted the RSPCA to go out and teach her dog the Green Cross Code. A caller was worried about a bird perched on a telephone line. A caller to the RSPCA was angry because she had seen a report which said that children were behaving like animals, and she was disgusted because animals don't behave badly. A confused motorist called the RSPCA instead of the RAC. A concerned woman called the RSPCA because she was witnessing animal abuse in a film on television made more than 40 years ago. A woman couldn't get her husband out of bed to walk the dog, so she called the RSPCA. Can you imagine it? Someone called the RSPCA because they thought they had spotted Bigfoot. And another wanted to know where they could get a CD full of bird sounds. Right here. You're welcome. And now, it's the Christo Show.
Good morning.
Christo.
Yes, that's me.
It is you.
Yes, it is.
You're stuck with it.
I know. It's good, isn't it? That wasn't that funny.
It amused me.
So little does. Anyway, shall I talk about my show now?
No.
No?
Oh,
all right then. Thank you, Nick.